Just watching this Zoom currently, ZM popped up on a volume scanner. Apparently Meta also going to include Zoom capabilities on this Quest or new headset, new VR headset. So heads up, not really doing much, but there was a volume spike on ZM, trying to get back to positive territory. Let's have a look at a positive board. Finally, it's been quite the day. Back and forth we go. First to the downside and then decent sized bounce here. It is actually the Dow leading the way right now, 1.12% for the Dow, about 0.5% for the S&P in positive territory. I'll show you that in a sec. But NASDAQ still kind of negative, chopping around break even or thereabouts. We're trying to bounce in crude oil to the downside. Back to about 2%. That was day lows in the pre-market this morning. Still red for cryptocurrencies as well. Yeah, there it is. The S&P 0.4 currently. Micron over here still leading as far as semiconductors are concerned. It is not a story of strength, however, for the rest of tech stocks at this point. The rest of them to the downside. Healthcare stocks nicely in positive territory down here, led by VTRS and Amgen on an upgrade today. Win LVS on the China COVID story this morning, still huge moves to the downside once again, 7.7, 7.6%. You can see CCL right beside it there. Faring a little bit better are some of the cruise lines back in positive territory. Retailers are strong, industrials strong, banks back to the upside as well after a negative start to the day. So there are some bright spots. We'll touch on some of these as well. Consumer staple names back in positive territory after a bit of a rocky start. Dish and Netflix relatively weak. So a little bit of everything, but the good news, finally, it's been a few days, the market is positive. So we'll hopefully hold on to positive territory and then some as we work our way through the final 2 hours of the day. Again, I'm going to keep my eye on some of these Meta developments. Again, this VR headset event still going on. The latest, if you missed it there. Some Zoom capabilities coming to the latest VR headset from Meta. Again, $1,500 feels like a lot, though, for that thing. Hope your afternoon is going well. Let's get into a little bit of a review session as we do to kick off the afternoon. I feel like this camera is very close, guys. We'll get started on some of the things we were talking about this morning if you joined us in the pre-market, including Sean is here to tell us about one of his trades.
Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah, we're back. Guess who's back? Back again. It's Tesla one more time. Make sure you hit that QR code in your bottom right. Join Day Trade the World today and start your prop trading experience with Day Trade the World. Okay, this is going to be real simple, real easy, right? Look at Tesla, man. It's motoring. It's moving pretty rapidly here today. It only has a $6 range, right? From 225 high down to 219. But the thing about Tesla is we're watching it against the market as well. It's been a mover. And the reason why, we did this yesterday. So I'm trying to show you trades that are maybe just waiting for key levels and then acting on those levels. So my trading has changed a little bit for a lot of these names. You could see Tesla today. We actually left it alone all morning. It was pretty choppy here, but so many good opportunities if you hit the outside areas, the outside ranges of this trade. So right here, the morning, we make that high of 225. I mean, it spikes up to 226. When you're trading like this, you're gonna have to just sort of go with the fact that there are gonna be wicks like this to the bottom, to the top. But look at this. That's a 219 bottom. That's a 226 top, all within the first 20 minutes. You know, if you catch the bottom, great. If you catch the top, great. But let's let it settle down. Bounces around, and we're actually near this low right here. I'm still in this short. So right now, we wait for Tesla to make that move back up. There's 225. So we're gonna sort of get short here ahead of that number. This area we start, because this here, we're using like 224.50. That doesn't really work. All the way back up to the upside, we get that 225. Then it's just like, whoop, all the way to the downside. These are $3, $4, $5. I mean, that's not 5. That's 225. Those outs are 221.50. Why did we get out there? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Kind of in the middle of the range. Definitely, was it going down anymore? I don't know. But there it is. It bases out. That's why we get out that piece right there back through VWAP. So as it's pulling back in, we kind of just noticing this 222.50. So out, 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 out. Anyways, the market is a strange thing. We can't hold on forever, can we? But there it is all the way to the downside. Notice that out VWAP, then out again on the 50 period. Boom, right back up to the upside again, and we restart the same position, 224.50, right, against that 225. So again, this is 50 cents worth of risk. All the way to the downside. Now we're in the money $4, and we still have this trade. So out a little bit at 224, you could see, then some 223.50s. Now that's $1. The reason why we get some out at 224 is that because that's the one-to-one, right? So I'm trying to get out of like 20, 30% of the trade. Looks bad here, but you know, sometimes it does work out. Out there at the 200 period, out there at VWAP, out here at the bottom, let it collapse down, and now we wait to see where Tesla goes. So the idea here is this. Tesla was not on my radar, really. I mean, it's on there every day, but it wasn't on the sticky note, and it wasn't really something that I was focused on until, again, just hanging around lunchtime, right? Doing the work. Scanning for different ideas, looking for Tesla, right? And it came up, showed me some tops. I have some more examples as well, and we'll get to that on the live show. But there's the pullback down. Right now, you see how we have that bottom? I'm debating putting a bid right there at 220.50 just because, hey, man, that'd be a $4 winner. But what if the NASDAQ does pull down? We have some huge economic numbers coming the next couple days. Let's see if the market wants to fade the rest of the day. It's Tesla. They're bangers. And it's your trade of the day.
Got to be in front of your computer and at your desk to take advantage of opportunities every single day. It doesn't have to be on any reason, just something that's moving the way that you want to see it, or around a level that you want to trade. So great opportunity there for Tesla, guys. Ton of great stuff on that once again this morning. If you didn't grab it, make sure you do tomorrow. Sign up, very, very easy. Use the QR code, just hit that link and enter your email address. We make it so easy for you. We send it right to your inbox every single day before we come on for free. Has everything you need to know to start the day. Again, the watch list, guys, was just looking at Zoom. As I mentioned earlier, there was a minor volume spike there. Zoom trying to get positive on the day. It's worth mentioning. Pretty good looking chart after a gap to the downside this morning with the overall market. 74, a bit of a problem. Ended up at 74 yesterday. We'll see if there's much follow through. This Meta event, though, not causing too much action as far as Meta is concerned. META still kind of chopping around here as this live stream continues. Let's talk about some chips to kick things off. We were worried about the group overall, if you joined us in the pre-market this morning. Under some pressure again on these COVID fears from China. There was a bunch of negative notes again for analysts, but ends up being this group, some of the semiconductors that bounce first this morning, guys.
Yeah, bounce a little bit. So I have a fun chart to show for Micron, and it's like, wow, Micron. I'll get to Intel in a quick second, because that's the thing I wanted to trade this morning. And then all of a sudden, when the market started bouncing, and this was led mostly by the chips, Micron was sort of hanging around the highs when the market was on the lows. And you know, at that particular time, it just felt like, okay, it'll roll over like everything else. I was sitting there short in basically everything. As this was taking the high and the market bounced, I got along. And if you follow the morning show, I was like, okay, we'll play it to 52. I was simply looking at the afternoon resistance, which seems kind of jokes now. On Monday, okay, tried to pop through there, a bit of a fail, wick top. Let's just get out of the long. No. I didn't even take a second look at it, and then all of a sudden, this thing is at $55. I do think we're pulling back in, some lower highs being played. And as I think about shorts in the afternoon, I like Intel to the short side. 25 was the short I had in the morning. Worked it down all the way to like a 24.60. Got one reload that eventually got stopped out flat. But you know, this gets back down to that 25 range. I'm going to like it short side. You can see outside of Lay's, the chip, I think it is pronounced Lay's, L-A-S-E. Outside of that small cap long, I'm just sitting all in shorts. But none of them are in the chips after they showed that relative strength. Led by Micron, but the market's now starting to come back in.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, well, we're starting to come back in pretty heavily. I've got CCL here playing down to VWAP, Amazon as well playing hopefully down to VWAP, and Coinbase. I'm probably going to get out of Coinbase pretty soon. Coinbase, I want VWAP on Coinbase. That stock, I'm kicking myself because like Micron, I actually had the bottom of this, and it eventually went to 73, but I was really thinking shorts all day. And we finally got that 73 area tested late on in the session. So let's see if these shorts can start to come in here. 11,000 not held on the NASDAQ. So beneath that, reestablish the shorts.
Yeah, I'm a little bit loaded up here, guys, so bear with me. But we are in Microsoft right now. If you want to talk about the rundown, it won't be with me. Microsoft right now, long 227.86 right now. You know, the market is coming in. We just defended that 60 area there on Microsoft, but I got a lot of shares to that upside. The market is dancing around right now, but that was a little bit of a move down. You can see the Tesla trade is now $5 in the money, but this Microsoft one, we just took out some some of that pressure. We're long right here at 86 on Microsoft. There it goes. It's going to break. It's going to break back down below this 227.70 area. Just making sure that I do have that stop. Yeah, we break below 70, we're going to get out because we just took some profit out there in the 90s. So trying to go this 1-to-1 a little bit. Looks like Microsoft wants to take this level out here. Excuse me, but you know, we can hold on to the rest. There's nothing I can do. It either comes back in or it fades out. Looks like it is going to test that right now. AMD today for me, if we're going to talk about chips. Let me just cancel some of these Microsoft trades here because this order's going to fly out in a minute. There it is. So now we are now out of that Microsoft. Fine, really. You know, able to get some in and then out right there. Now the only trade I have on right here is going to be Google, as we're going to watch out for this one right into the bottom of this level. Again, was not really expecting this kind of a move right now in the futures back down. Basically coming right back into this bottom, which is I'm trying to play off that bottom, which is really what we're doing right now. That Google trade coming back in right now, retesting some of those bottoms. So got to make sure. I was going to get out if this breaks 98.20, which is right there, 98.30. Now there it is. Ooh, we got more shares. Okay. Yeah, now the market, there it is. So now the market is Tank City back down into the, so just a couple, not huge amount of shares, but wow, did that market really want to go back down into the downside right now as we fail. AMD is funny because we were actually short this morning right there. Came back in. We didn't take advantage of any of that down there. Short again, short here. So AMD is a fine trade for us, but I don't have anything on right now as you're still near the top. Funny, market going down and AMD right now still up today. So that's kind of strange. Man, damn, Sean, hit that Microsoft short, bro. That was the right play. The short was the right play on Microsoft and Google, not the long. So yeah, sort of thought that we might be able to hang up there around flat and just tried to play like I was doing on Tesla there, tried to play the ranges, but stopped out there on Microsoft and on Google. But there goes Tesla right back into this area, down below the lowest spot all day. This is a $5 winner right here for Tesla. But yeah, chips continue to be weak, man. 52-week lows incoming on those. However, the chips are actually, that should say more chip strength or chip strength with like a because yeah, why is AMD up today when all the rest of the market's down? So more work needed there. I just feel like they're beat down like all the rest of these names. So, you know, maybe there is some relief somewhere for chip names coming up soon.
Just having a look at this one, guys. IMUX back to day highs. The little one still making all kinds of a move all day long, really, let's be honest. 25% almost at the top there for IMUX. I want to mention Meta. Spotify apparently, and Meta going to make Meta glasses. So there's that. Spotify not moving at all. I was going to look at Meta again, but it's kind of back and forth, not really doing anything on this event. If you remember in the pre-market, though, we were talking about Meta on the sense that there was a few negative analyst moves going into this event then this afternoon. But Meta, guys, a whole bunch of stuff being announced here. Again, the latest teaming up with Spotify for a glasses product.
Okay, I mean, so far, like you said, Brendan, it just feels like it's been
seems a bit weird,
a bit of a nothing burger event. Like, I mean, volatility-wise, for sure. I mean, I actually don't think that 1500 for the Oculus or the new VR headset is crazy. Just given, you know, just A, inflation, B, it's going to have more functionality. You are improving processing speed and power and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't seem all that nuts to me. You buy it for your household. But I get it, man. Like that's a tough sell for a lot of people at this particular time. I'm in this, and I tried. This is the third actual short that I've had. Sorry, fourth one, third this afternoon off this 131, 132 area on Meta. I just like that resistance. We took this when it failed at the open. Said beneath 132, this is a short, and then only shorted that price. Got it all the way down to 127.50. That was pretty solid. But I just wish I'd had some longs off the bottom and a lot of things, obviously. But then right back to the well here, 131 has been the price in the afternoon. I got 30.85. Feels like VWAP's running into support here, so I might just take this one out. I mean, there's a few things I'm hanging on to that I think can go, but given the event has led to a compressed range here in Meta, I am going to pop on VWAP and just see if I can take this one out in front of it, because there's so many other things which are working a little bit better. Like Coinbase feels like this is just absolutely about to flush even further down into the 69.5 to 70 range. I see like Apple trying to test 140s. This market comes down here, maybe not have to worry about the event, which has got a bit of a compressed range on us over there in Meta, unfortunately.
I like that compressed range. Yeah, I mean, some of these ranges
Trying to keep
are
up with Sharif.
I think that's right. Yeah, you got to keep up with Sharif. Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly with you because some of these names here are starting to dance around a little bit. So what are we on right now? Meta, non-event. Yeah, it might be more of an event like Brendan was sort of talking about there for companies like that, Zoom and whatnot, looking at some of their products coming through here. I'm just editing some orders here because we just took some out there on Microsoft. We did re-engage back into a short here. Come on, let's go, man. We're at 25s. There it is. Give me that fill. Yes, sir. Nice little win here, making back everything and more on this Microsoft short as this is pulling back down in right now. So trying to capture some profits here one more time on Microsoft to the short side. As we flipped it around, I was not expecting the market to sort of do this. So there it is. Yes, finally, man. Oh my God. As we go to the downside now for Microsoft, watching out for that. Tesla, meanwhile, is burning bridges left, right, and center as we just take down 229 or 219, sorry, bouncing off 219. So let's wait to see what does happen there. Come on, Softy. Let's get down to the downside right now. Here goes Microsoft. Yeah, 227. Let's go, baby. Arun always telling me, Sean, you're getting out way too early. Let the market give it to you. Well, yeah, we should do that, but the market's giving it right now. You can't lose on it and then, wait for this to happen. So it's like now that I'm back into the short, I'm going to just start like a robot here, firing out some orders. We're right down there to VWAP at that 226. So let's see what does happen right now with Microsoft on this downside, man. We're $1 in the money on PayPal. We're $6 in the money. $6 in the money on Tesla, and we are now 40 cents in the money on this Microsoft trade as that's looking to take out these bottoms. So yeah, so far so good here as we trade. I guess we could talk about Roblox next.
Just wanted to double check on a date there. Roblox guys did get positive back to 35.40 where we ended the day yesterday on huge volume. About midday, right around here, we did get positive, but not so much anymore. Back to the downside again. There was a underweight initiation for RBLX this morning that we were discussing from Barclays of all names here. Looking beyond COVID, they believe the bookings growth number will be a problem going forward for Roblox.
Yeah, look, I like the short in Roblox beneath 33.60. Specifically, waited for it to happen at the open. I'll pop the higher time frame up. You can sort of see the daily chart. You had this multi-day support. I thought if we get below that price, it flushes like everything else was doing in the market. Unfortunately, it only gave like a 20% winner before stopping out. Should have gone to the long, didn't do it. Waited for 35 at the top. Had 3 shorts in it, one pretty successful, then the last one stopped out for like a 10-cent loss. I went to other places. When we made a high here at 35.60, could have come back into this at 35. I just liked what I was seeing in other places. That's why you'll see me short in CCL and Meta as well. I just took this one out as it looks like it's trying to bounce off VWAP, so I'll just sort of ring the register on that, take the $1.25, sit in Amazon, which I think it just has more room to run. I think it gives me the $2 back in front of VWAP, can give me $2 on Amazon, and then we're not going to. We'll get to Coinbase in a little bit there. So, and then CCL is the other one that I'm back into. The reason I liked CCL and just sort of getting into the shorts that I'm in and holding on to instead of Meta, I want the ones that have room to VWAP. As this was testing its high, the market was continuously breaking the high. So it was relatively strong. I get that. But we kept on breaking highs in the market, and CCL held $6.75. So I decided to work into a short once it put in some lower highs. I've been holding on to it ever since as this works down toward VWAP. But once again, the shorts are coming in with the exception of Lay's. Not the chips, but Lay's. LASE, there's a small cap name. I've had it since it attempted the breakout and then held consolidation at 3. If it takes out 295, I'm out. I'm going to get more than half of it out in front of this 330 level, actually about 60%, then hold on to the rest. Looking for about 350 to the upside. It's not a huge line in the sand, but if you go all the way back to literally last week, then you have this 350 area where it did break down. I think if it can get there, it probably runs into some sellers. But a couple of small caps worth looking at. This one to the long side. Hopefully it doesn't follow the market because the market's going down.
All right. What if I hit? I'm just now setting up my keys here. No, I just want to. Like, will Alt F12 do anything if I hit Alt F12?
Okay, there's a few that you don't want to use. It's like I think that one's okay, but
I'm going to try. Hold on a second here. Alt Yeah, it's not doing anything. Okay.
Okay.
So what I want to do is here, I want to set up a stop order here for this, because normally, so if you are on our system, I don't have stops set for trailing stops. So I only have stops so you could flatten your position, time stop, trailing stop. So a certain amount of time goes by, trailing stop is right there. So I'm going to use trailing stop right now. The reference price is going to be the last price. Actually, the reference price, I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do, but I'm gonna use last price for that. Offset is gonna be numeric, so that's fine. Increment type, none, and that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna hit okay on this one, because so now that's set up for the NASDAQ, and I'm gonna also set it up here for NYSE. So I'm gonna do the same type of thing again. Go to here, go to script order. I don't need bracket orders. I need trailing stops. So I'm gonna use that. Midpoint, I'm just thinking like what's the best one to use, because so midpoint will take the midpoint of the bid and the ask, one will take the bid, one will take the ask, but I think last price is probably good for this. And the reason why I'm saying that is because like when you're trading a stock like Tesla or something like that, I want to make sure that it doesn't trigger just because whatever the ask price is, because the ask price could be 50 cents higher than whatever the bid price is. So I don't want to just punch out immediately on that one. We'll push apply and then we'll save. The reason why I do this right now, and again, I think this is just as important as talking about some of those names, is because right now for Softy, it's like as the 50 period is trailing down, instead of me always changing my out, so like if my out right now is going to be 227.74, right? Well, that's about 60 cents away. So if I put my trailing stop at 60 cents, then at least if this thing tanks down 60 cents, then my trailing stop will move 60 cents with it. So that's how trailing stops work. So that's something that I'm definitely looking at right now for this. And part of the reason is because of this Tesla trade. Like right now, I'm $6.
Oh my God.
In the money here on this Tesla trade. So this is absolutely blowing up to the downside. And I'm just like, so my stop was here, 221.50. Now my stop's at 220.50. But as this keeps going down, so does my area for stop, right? So I was thinking like right here, this is 218.70. Wow, what a trade for Tesla. I mean, not this trade. I wish I still had it all on. But what a good trade for Tesla if you're short. So as this keeps going, so right now, 218.70. This is at 220.30, so we have like $2.50 or so. So I would put my stop at about 250, retracing back up. So if this name gets to 217, then my stop would then be 219.50, right? So that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm sort of glad that we could discuss that, because using trailing stops is something that I don't use enough, and to be quite frank with you, I should be using a little bit more. But one thing we are trying to do is have a little bit of diamond hands here. But let's get out of some of this, Softy, because remember, like we're long, look at this, long here, long there, out. That's 30 cents hit, right? Now we're in the money 30 cents. So we have to start taking some profit on this Microsoft trade as it pulls back down. And the risk management makes absolutely no sense. So right there on Microsoft, that's what we're doing. We're watching out for this 227.50 here in order to get out of this one. And then I may, because the market could bounce here, think about this trade right here, out. Let's go 220. Let's go 220 and a quarter. New out for Tesla.
All right, we'll move on to Coinbase here. Back to the downside a little bit. There was this note about mid-morning, just before lunchtime, in fact, that came out on Bank of Mellon, or BNY Mellon, offering crypto services now as well, joining BlackRock as well, that has already said they're going to venture into this space. But BNY didn't really affect the stock at all. We were talking about the Google deal this morning with Coin as well. I also wanted to mention this Dice did break downside pretty hard there as well. Not much of a bid left on Dice, guys.
Yeah, look, the thing about Coinbase is like Google was doing all of these partnerships, announcing all of these partnerships and deals this morning. It was like a huge string of them. You would have heard Ford in there, you heard Coinbase. It was a lot, and some moved, some didn't. Coinbase did move on that news. Now it gapped up because there was certainly the talk about the Singapore sort of granting some approvals there, and it was already looking relatively strong because of that. Then it broke this 68. I got my 15-minute chart up so you can see a better perspective. When it broke that 68 early, it was all the way to 73. We were coming back down, and I sort of said, well, let's short some pops if we can get them. I did like that. I mean, obviously I like that 73 top or 75. That just didn't happen. So all of a sudden I'm sitting there and we're bouncing off 65, and we'd already bounced one time. I'll pop back over to the lower time frame chart, the 3-minute. We'd already bounced off 65 even once as the market's trying to make a low. So I just said, look, risk to reward at this point, I can go long right in front of 65 and scalp it. I had no intention of really holding it. I got in, I got out for $1, and then I watched the damn thing go up to $70. At which point I promptly shorted it at 70 because I want to short pops on Coinbase. It broke out. I ended up losing 25 cents, and then we got back into this trade, which is actually off of that pre-market high. So we waited for it to get to the price that we wanted all along, off the pre-market highs. I'm going to slap a... So there's a lot of different ways to use a trailing stop. Sean, just to give you an eloquent example, I'm using a lot of school words because Sharif had like ubiquitous and a few other ones out there. So I'm using eloquent just because I feel like it.
What was that wicked word that Pratt had? Man, engage.
It was.
Was it engage?
No, it was.
Oh man.
Now you're gonna. I'll think of it. But Pratt had some good ones too. I'll give him credit for that. But yeah. So look, I just wanted to get back into this short. I think I'm going to use a different type of stop order because you can use a trailing stop in which you simply, if it moves back 1%, if it moves back 10, 20 cents at a time, if it moves back $1, and then it's a moving target for how far it goes. Or you can look at a support and resistance and just put a stop in, and it's not a real trade. It's not a real trigger other than a static. So it's not going to be a moving target. I just want to do it at this 70, 75 area. So it just rejected this high. If we pull back in here to 70 and don't break 70, I'm going to throw a stop at 775. And I'm kind of giving it 70, 75. And I'm giving it this chance here to get down to VWAP and hold on to the trade. But I don't want it breaking out of this channel to the upside. So a couple of ways you can use a trailing stop there. It's going to bug me now. It had to do with encourage, but I forget how he said it.
People that were watching it would remember.
It was encourage,
yeah.
But it wasn't encourage. It was
Anchorage.
Anchorage.
It was Anchorage because then when people were talking about Alaska,
Anchorage,
that's what
Alaska,
it was.
yeah.
Anchorage. Yeah, he was using the word encourage and just pronouncing it wrong. But English, not his first language, So we'll take it easy on him for that one.
At least he can speak 2 languages, man.
Yeah. He might be able to speak more than 2, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah?
I just don't know if there's different dialects. That's all. I'm not sure. But yeah, I can speak English barely. So, all right, a little bit Italian, a little bit of French. But all right, right there, 227. I'm going to use some of these ticks here as our outs now for Microsoft as it just ripped back up. And again, this is why. Remember when it was down here, man? We talked about taking advantage of some of these low wicks down here. When you come back in and it hits our levels like a VWAP, that's when you got to take advantage. So right now we'll short again because the market is doing the kind of dancing that we are expecting of this market right back to that 50 period again now. So let's see what happens. I'm in the mode right now. I mean, this is why we're holding on to this Tesla trade. It's just and I'm going to try to hold on to this. Come on, Softy, get to the downside. The reason why I'm doing it is because, there it is. I'm going to get out. Ooh, almost out. Almost out at 70 break, 71, 72 break. Do we want to hold? Do people? There we go. We're out. Do we want to hold positions into?
That was crazy.
PMI tomorrow? Or PPI, sorry? I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's something that I want to do, and I don't know if you guys want to do that either, but it just seems pretty risky to do that. So we'll see, man, unless people have some kind of insight into this, which you're not really supposed to have if you have any inside information about that. I just feel did I just get wicked out there? We'll take another short here just in case that is, but we won't go big shares just in case that was, a real top, and we want to get to the high side there for Microsoft. Oh, no. Don't tell me that right now. Now it wants to fade back out again. Okay, that's fine. We put on a Serenity now. We just had a pretty big position get flattened on us right there because my out was 70. Nice to see it down to 40. Microsoft, honestly, bro, you are a friend of mine, but you're on thin ice right now, Softy, because that now the move happens. Come on. So this is what I mean. Load into the short right here, get taken out, and then this happens. So we'll see. Still could fall back upside here, and then we get railroaded one more time. That's I still want to use that as the out though. 227.75. If the people that are in control of all the money in the world are watching Trader TV live and for some reason decide to bring that up there to stop on me, then that is what it is. Let's wait to see here about Softy. I just honestly don't think that we need to go back up to that upside here today for the NASDAQ. It's dangerous. We have this guy turned over to a bear here all day, and I just don't see the logic why heading into CPI. Look, like, it's been a disaster those last couple
times. If it misses again, it's going to be ugly as all hell. But I mean, PPI is tomorrow, which is not as big.
Yeah.
Like, CPI is bigger. Obviously, I think everyone understands that. So maybe there's some confidence to be buying some of these rips, or buying some of these higher lows that we're seeing here, because it can hang on to it, maybe rally for a day, and then you go risk off tomorrow. That's at least one thought there. So I mean,
here it goes.
I mean, I just got trailed out of Coinbase myself. We were just talking Coinbase, and I talked about just putting the trail in, and there it is. It broke the channel. I'm now out of Coinbase. It'll be a winning trade, so I got to be happy about it. But we couldn't even get VWAP on that pullback. When was the last time we had a V shape like this? You get the top of the market, it starts rolling over, puts in a lower high like the NASDAQ did, and then we don't even follow through. This usually we get exactly what we want in the short recently here, but a little bit more strength coming into this market today.
Here, guys, sitting at break even right now, trying to hold, in fact, with the overall market as well, trying to hold at break even for the day. Bit of a bounce in the overall market, but we are still positive here for Amazon. This new and improved, I guess, 2-day version of Prime Day kicked off today. Not going to be a huge market mover for them, but this is another one. Pretty impressive move. 111 all the way back through to 115 for Amazon today.
So a couple of things here. One, I'm still in Amazon because I still believe in VWAP. I'm not even slapping a trail on this. I liked Amazon short 112. And I think the reason was obvious. If you just go to the 15-minute, it could not break 112 for like the greater part of a week. I did have a quick long that I scalped for a small win and then took the short break. I'll pop back to the 3 here, 3-minute chart. Reversed it at 12. Ended up probably getting out too early at 11s. You see it bounce off 10. I tried shorting it again off that 12 level, sat it all the way out until we got up to 115. It broke 115, then on the way back down, I shorted 15, thinking we're getting VWAP. I'm still sitting in it. I don't want to add to it here, even though you got pre-market highs and you could roll over. I think if it pops back up, I'd probably want to short it closer to 114.50, 114.75. Play this bad boy back into VWAP. But like I said, this is holding up green. And what I was getting at with the futures here is this is what I'm seeing in the NASDAQ. Like, you get to the highs, you put in a lower high here off of that 11,000, and then you start trending back into the downside. So I'm kind of expecting that we're going to break support and head lower, because that's been the pattern that we've observed in this bear market. So let's see what happens there. A couple of questions. Jeff Ross asked in the chat, and I don't know if you're asking us, but I'll just answer it anyways. It was like, do you ever enjoy watching someone lose? I'd hope not. I think that's kind of crappy. And the thing about trading is, like, everyone, if you've never lost trading, then you've never traded, or you just traded one time and you got lucky the first time. So it's one of those things. It's a cost of doing business, but you just you should anticipate the loss going into it and hopefully have no emotions one way or the other. It's going to happen to you there no matter what. And there was a question about Roblox. I know I already talked about it, but someone was asking about a short they had in Roblox at 44. That can't seem to break 33.50. Like, this is the level on the daily chart. And if you've got a short up here, hey, congratulations. I mean, a 25% move is fantastic. You've got the trend, but it just rejected this for the 3rd time this level. So if you haven't taken any profit now, it's not a horrible idea to. You have CPI coming in. Right? Like, if inflation were to come down, you got a good print there, a stock like Roblox can be right back up at that 50 period in one move, up to $40. So you've got yourself a solid win. I get it. You want to hold on to a piece, because if it breaks this, you could go another 10, 15% to the downside in a heartbeat. But if you've paid yourself there, that's the thing about these levels. If it breaks, you want to hold on to a piece of it, but to not take anything out as a trader. I was short this on a day trade, and we're talking about these, respecting these levels. I was looking for that breakdown, thinking you can be sitting at 30 pretty quickly, but you got to respect the fact that that's not what happened. It put another wick bottom in and did a jailbreak to the upside. So the trend is maintained, but that support level's real on Roblox at 33.5. There's no question about it. The buyers keep stepping in, and it's that's what the chart's telling you. There's buyers down there, and we have to respect it.
All right, well, I'm kind of disrespecting Microsoft a bit because I keep going short on. Now it's going to break higher, huh? I keep going short on this name, so we're going to watch out here for Softy, see what happens now. I mean, I like the short into this name. We've talked about that. I don't believe the market wants to go up, so we'll still keep. I don't know why I'm picking Microsoft, to be honest with you. It's just I saw this happen, right? And like that was pretty dramatic, man. 228.60 all the way down to 226.90, like almost in a straight line there for Microsoft. So all right, I mean that's a nice little move down. We'll take off a piece here if we can in the 70s for that as it's trying to bounce. I mean, it's starting to go down a little bit here. If we're lucky enough to get, okay, that just crushed downside right there for Softy. So we just got a fill that I tried to cancel, to be honest with you. 68, sorry, right where the 50 period was. We got that fill. So now we can hold on to the rest and see if it does come back in. I mean, realistically, I think we're looking at like a 50 print to get some more out. If we could do that, we'll put a bid there. And then wait to see. So there it is. We are, yes, sir, thankfully. There we go. Wow, we make that money back on Softy. So that was slippery slope there a little bit. We'll see if it still wants to go back up to the upside. But there's the NASDAQ starting to push lower now. We've got PayPal short. We've got Tesla short. We're now into a Microsoft short. We're up on this name today. So let's just see if we can't keep that going right now. I will put another little piece. Where were we here? That just wicked down to 45. Wow. Okay. This is what I mean. This is crazy when these moves start wicking around like that. Because look, it was just 45. Now it's back to 80. Like, this is like wild. No wonder why I keep getting stopped out on some crazy moves because, you know, you really got to put your stops kind of like at extremes here. And like just right there, I just got out. This is a minute ago. This just hit 45. And now right now you're back to 85. So that's 40 cents. And like when you're swinging, even if you're swinging 500 shares, like 40 cents, you know, that's $200 in a matter of a minute there, and you really haven't done anything different except for put your order out and get filled and then watch it rip all the way back to the upside here. So yeah, very, very tight ranges here, not on Microsoft as it is just moving around here like crazy town. So I'm going to put a little bit more on the bid here. I don't want to diddle in this middle, but I do want to get some out just in case we do blow up to the high side. Next bid though in the 40s here for Softy. Let's see if we do get another swoosh down like a Nike swoosh, but let's go the other way, swoosh, downside here for MSFT.
Oh, we're not, okay, I think we're done the rundown. So I just got asked by Giga Chad, so I'll answer you here, no problems. What's going on with Lays? Lays is getting lazy off VWAP in $3. So I had some shares on the breakout.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It kind of went 10 cents. That's okay.
That's a good one. I like that one. Why not? You got to give credit for that.
Okay. I kind of feel like Sharif stepped the game up a little bit, so I'm trying to catch up there with bad puns, school words. School words are just an unnecessarily complex word instead of saying something clearly with something simplified. But anyways, bouncing off $3. It needs to break this channel, but you know, I like the setup here. Like you look at where it's come from, I get it. Like this stock was over at like $5 a couple weeks ago, but I like the breakout 250 that it's putting in out of this bottom channel, and then it held $3. So the trend is pretty solid. That's why I've only been going long. It just needs to go. The volume has been tapering off a little bit, which is a bit disappointing. But I was able to get one leg out. I'm kind of sitting here in front of 320 to get a few more out there and see if we can't take this one to the upside. As like I said, coin, I did get out of this. I'm going to go back over to the trail on Coinbase. It's still going sideways. So the only way I make another trade in Coinbase is either we pop back up, I'll cancel. I don't need to sit on the offer at 72.50 where I got short before. It gets up there, I want to get the short again in Coinbase, only off those highs, not going to chase it all the way to this downside, not at all. And then there's a couple of others out here that have been making some power moves. One of them had been Lululemon. Lulu, if this chart will load up in a quick second here, Lulu just came back like $6 off the high, actually almost $7 off the high of the day, and is trying to hold this $300 level to the downside. So you look at something which was one of the strongest names out there in the market, you pop the higher time frame, and it's still bit of a downward channel, even with the strength that it has here today. If the market is going to hold downside, that 300 becomes a big level for something like a Lululemon. It sets up for a breakout if the market goes higher. Like if I have a shot at this breaking out on some market strength, I don't mind a 300 break. My first look would be to see if we can catch a bit of a short trade there. And yeah, still in CCL, still going sideways. I do think that one's it might lull me to sleep to be honest with you. But as long as we hold that high of the day, I'm holding out for some 650s. Actually going to try and get some shares out beneath VWAP there. It's not really challenging my entry point or the high. That's why I feel relatively comfortable in it. But at some point, it needs to or get off the pot.
Yeah. Boil or get off the pot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, we do have. I got to clean up that wick. Did that just happen, or was that always
I got a bunch that just happened.
11:25 right now. Watch out for softy here as it is starting to go up. I already have the stop order ready to go. I will reload it one more time. Oh yeah, that wasn't 237.50. It was 227.50 as a high there, and then. Magically, now our Microsoft chart looks a little bit better. There it is, into the short again. We're just trying to play off these same highs here. 228.50, right? So, no. 228.11. So we're just going to play off 228. That's all. Nothing too crazy there. We did get that reload. That last one was at 90. So let's see if it can get back into the 70s now. So here we go. There's the reload. Now we're right back up here to Microsoft. We're only trying to hold this 20 cents, man. If it breaks 228, it's probably going to scream. So we're going to have to watch out for that trade. Our orders are already in to get out in case that does happen, right? So, I mean, this name is honestly like some of these stocks are just like blasting levels like it's a joke here. Like they run through these things. It's only 18 million shares. It's not like it's a hell of a lot of volume today for Microsoft, but like when it wants to go up, like you saw what happened here when we got some of them. Let me zoom in a little bit. You saw what happened here when we got some of those fills. Like it was just like bang, like this fill actually happened, you know? So we're hoping that the market can somehow now turn on a dime and come back in right here. But Microsoft trying to just hang out up top. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Let's see. I mean, we could get out for flat right now. We are long. We're short at 91 right now. I don't like that it's hanging out up here, but I mean, 20 cents worth of risk here for this Microsoft trade. I kind of like it. And again, just so you guys know, like, where is the logic here? The logic is pretty simple for me. It's just thinking about the fact that Microsoft or this whole market doesn't want to remain up here knowing what's possibly coming tomorrow at 8:30. So I don't know. It's a theory. I think we're well within the risk parameters here to do something like that. So let's just see where it comes in now, hopefully to the downside for Softy, and we can start cashing out a little bit more here. As there it is, we'll take a 75. We just shorted 90s, man. So now we're 20 cents in the money. Now this makes sense from a risk to reward. I definitely don't take advantage enough of my good plays. That's one thing that I'm noticing. So let's go. So now we're out of half already, man. That was 20 cents down, right? We just got short 90. We were short 91s. You guys saw that. We talked about it. So now we're 20 cents down on this trade when our risk is 20 cents up. So risk to reward right now 1-to-1. Let's get out of exactly half right now. Do we get those? There we go. We're bidding 68s. We're out of those right here. We'll slap the siren on it because trust me on this one, that's a good trade for me. Now we're more than 1-to-1 on this trade. We've already got out of half. It's called playing with house money. Now let's see if we can go to the downside. You ever heard of Young Gravy?
I've never heard of Young Gravy.
That's why you did that Rick roll. Because Young Gravy did something called Betty Get Money.
So I saw the video.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the video.
No, I saw the video, but I didn't realize. I don't know the guy by name, but it's. I saw a pretty jokes video, and that's what did spurn me rickrolling you guys. That was the thought, anyways. But this IMUX just broke $8. So I want to get to a couple here. IMUX, one of them, breaking 8. Look at the daily chart. 850 stands out as a bit of a level. If it gets to that price, obviously, you can find these bag holding levels just by looking at last consolidations when it was heading to the downside. But yeah, I'm looking at this and saying anywhere from 8 to 850, this starts to turn. It's trying to put a wick off top here, a wick top at $8. I don't mind shorting 8. I don't mind waiting for 850. A couple of legs to watch out for. And then Vinco Ventures, which I believe when I did check, and Vinco looks like it's reporting. I think it was on our board, but
BBIG.
I think BBIG. There was a couple of. I think it ended up on our board for earnings tomorrow, but I don't see it till the 28th. So it could be a little bit later on. Either way, it just did a bit of a volume spike, getting close to $1. You know I like that dollar level, so it just spiked from 94 to 98. Another test at that buck. I'll probably take a shot shorting this at $1, to be honest with you. That's just kind of one of the things I look out for. Try to risk a couple of cents to try to pull back 5 to 10. That's a trade I like. It could roll over from 98 here, but I am keeping my eye on that for that dollar move. And IMUX looks like it is starting to slow down here. It was a big volume spike taking out 8. and then it gets to about 807. So I might take a first swing. This is a very, very strong name, obviously. But the stop is usually at the high of the day or just slightly above it when I'm trying to make this play. As once it gets below 8, if I see any follow through the offers getting below that $8 range, 98s, 99s, things like that, which I'm not really seeing yet, then I want to jump into the short.
Oh, hell yeah. Good. Yeah, good. Sorry about that, Neil. Look at this market just absolutely collapsing on itself. Uh-oh. That's for you. Let's go. We talked about this move to the downside. Holy shnikes. That's from an old trader on the floor. As there it is. Young Gravy is in the house right now. Look at this move to the downside right here. How about that for Softy? How about that for Softy? Bang right there. That's a good trade right there. We'll spin it for you. That's a little bit of an awesome trade for that. As there it goes to the downside. Hey man, this was 20 cents worth of risk. Now in the money, $1.20. Spin it. There it is. That's for my man Sharif. Great job on the midday show. I encourage everybody to follow us, watch our trades, and of course that's to Prad right there. Thank you again. Chat blowing up right now. I hope you guys like that trade there on Softy. There it is, $1 and change now in the money. See ya. I mean, not only could we NFT this bad, but look how low that went. 26. This is what I'm talking about, and just how nuts some of these wicks are. Uh-oh. There we go, man. The nice little trade coming through here right now. Check back on our Tesla trade. This one is also a Young Gravy trade. 227 all the way down, breaking now new lows of the day here on Tesla. So a nice little move to the downside right now. So yeah, good stuff, man. Thanks. This is what we're waiting for, man. I don't know. Let's just wait. I mean, there goes Microsoft. Why can't Microsoft go back to 226 flat? I think it can. Big move to the downside. Let's just see what happens here to come back in. So now Microsoft's starting to go. So this is that house money that we're playing with right now. So let's go, man. What's up, Carolina? What's up, everybody there on the chat? Thank you so much. We love you too. Thank you to everybody there, if you have it or not. What's up to Stephanie? What's up to Bong Gang right there? What's up to Carly, Richard Stern, Frank Jones? What's up? It's Mike Jones. Thank you to everybody, man. Yeah, we're pretty happy with this trading right now. This is what it's all about. Live, tradertv.live. Hit the like button.
Always hit that like button. The market's been just giving you shorts pretty much every single chance you get the last little bit. We finally followed through. I just got VWAP. I took my $2 on Amazon and ran. A lot of these dark pool wicks just sort of came in the last minute. I don't know what to do about them, but I tried cleaning this up and it came right back. So the cat came back the very next day, and I can't get rid of this 127 print on Amazon as the market is now flushing to that downside. I did jump into IMUX. I got $8. Risk is to 807 and no further than that. We just talked about Roblox a little bit earlier. Oh, what is wrong with this? My 3-minute chart just doesn't want to have data on Roblox for some reason. So there we go. It just got right back into VWAP. This could retest that 3350. So I was just talking about how it held that strength. You might see that come back in rather quickly. I'm still in CCL as it continues to try to work to VWAP. But notice this, holding up a little bit better. So it's sliding in the money, but not falling like the rest of tech did. Meta worked, Amazon worked, CCL yet to follow through. And that brings me back to RCL. We talked about this being a little bit weaker than CCL this morning, and it's right at that $40 level. I talked about 40 as resistance. It blew right through that. If it tries to break it here and the market continues lower, I might just have to jump over to this trade instead of, well, I'm going to hold on to CCL because it's in the money, but adding to it, just a little bit weaker in RCL. But IMUX was the newest trade for me. It's a wick top, but the high is there at 807. So if I stop it at 810, 1-to-1 is literally at 790, and that's where I start getting it out, all the way down to about 750 to 760. That was the previous high. So it's a scalp trade from the high in a super big trending stock. And the only news on this was that there was an offering yesterday. So sometimes stocks go up after an offering. Apparently.
This market, like we're first of all, guys, we're now $2 in the money and still tanking. Honestly, the fact that I only have, look, it's a $7 winner on Tesla. It's $2 in the money on Microsoft. It's $1.50 in the money on PayPal. But the fact that I only, like, that was so easy just because of that logic. There's obviously news that's broke here, but let's go over to Brendan and see what's up.
Big move down for the pound. I'll show you that in a second, guys. There's a little one moving as well. NXL here up 42%. 0.5%, just breaking day highs. But Bank of England Governor Bailey just saying their market intervention will be temporary and they will be out by the end of the week. So this is what's happening. This is a 5-minute candle, or 2 5-minute candles anyways, for the British pound. Absolutely tanking right now. Back towards 110.5. So big moves on the currency market again. The Bank of England was stepping in to prop up the pound and some of the UK financial markets, but no longer, saying they'll be out by the end of the week.
I was supposed to with Greg, but Greg's too busy in LSM.
Was you eating French? Thank you, bro.
Crushing the French fries over here. That's okay.
If I reach, if I so much
actually eat one.
I know, but if I so much as reach for food, the camera goes right to me.
Yep. Well, hey, man, we're a show. We're trying to show what's going on around here. I got to go get a coffee, actually, very, very soon.
I need to refill my water.
Yeah, this is a good, man. This is really good.
Gates of hell for this market.
Right now, the gates of hell are opening up. Good one. I like that one. Gates of hell opening up for the market right now. Open up, walk in. That's exactly what we did. And we said, get that money, man, right there. So, good one. The bears are in this market. I honestly, right now, I know I've emptied these out, right? But I mean, I can't. I'm planting purple flowers. I have to do that, man. I can't sit here. This is what I need help on, man. Like, tie me to the back and just let me come back at 4 o'clock, because like, if I keep seeing this coming through, then yeah, I have to take some profit. Big day here on some of these names, man. We are absolutely destroying Tesla today. We're now $7 in the money on that trade, and honestly, I don't have any reason to get out of this trade. Tesla just cranking lower. We've sold. We got out of Tesla a while ago in our main account. We talked about that. Here comes the move back down. Let's look at Tesla on a properly adjusted chart right now for that. And it's too bad that I got out of the majority of the shares here, because look where Tesla is. This is pre-split now. So the split happens, we rip up to the upside right now, and then we go, yeah, you know what, screw this. I'll have a couple French fries right now.
You can't say no.
As well. McDonald's fries they're too good. And there goes Tesla right down there to that downside. 217 and change now coming through for Tesla. Wow, this is now 7+ in the money here for this trade for Tesla. Meanwhile, man, hello, good outs there, sub 226 on Microsoft. Will we get back down there? Let's see.
I just finally got a little bit of a leg out, and we're gonna go for this. IMUX, I get it's been a home run for all the people long this stock. At this point, it's starting that rollover. I just like the setup. I'm not gonna chase longs when the market is rolling over. I don't care how strong something is. Risk reward sets up for the short trade. As a day trader, that's all you care about. But on the other hand, Lays was looking good. This 3-minute chart does not want to load up fully, so I have to go back to the 5. It looked like it was about to break out. Had all my offers into the high of the day at 330, and now you're right back at that $3 level. I'm not reloading this trade. I think buying a dip, even in a small cap, when the market's dying like this, doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense. So there'll be no reload for me on Lays. I'll just get out of it, take the L on the last long we had. Thankfully, finally, because the market flushes, well, last I checked, if you're in a short and the market flushes, you're probably going to get paid off. So there we go. We'll power it up. I'm sort of waiting around for CCL to finally go. If it didn't go, I was going to pop over and grab some RCL. Didn't have to, because this is rolling back into VWAP. Market is coming back in. Hold on to your shorts. Hold on to your butts, because we could test the morning low. Well, I mean, it's not crazy. We're about 50 points away from it on the NASDAQ there, as we're now back beneath 1% to the downside on the NASDAQ. The ES down 0.5%, and 3,600 back into play. Looks like it's going to be ugly. And there was a question, why did I get out of the Amazon short? Because it was at support and the market was trending higher. And quite frankly, that was the target. If I'm shorting a strong stock in an uptrend, unless something changes, I'm out in front of VWAP. Now, if the Bank of England comes out and says something while I'm still in it, I can cancel my bid.
Yeah.
But the reality is it had already hit my target and I had my parameters for it. It's a trend to the upside. And when that's happening, a lot of times I'm playing that back into VWAP if I'm going counter trend. I like to have a target on a counter trend trade almost every single time. Brendo?
This guy's just popping up to the downside here on a huge volume spike. Sell side, some data manipulation accusations coming across for a latest trial result that they released. So NVS, big spike downside here for that one.
All right. So Samuel Jackson had go the what to sleep. So the market's going to hell. So I'm going to read the Bitcoin standard, the decentralized alternative to central banking. Because if I look at my screen and look at the damage that's being done right now, then I'm going to continue to get out of the market. But I'm just joking around here. Thank you so much. This is sent in by, how can I, it's because the lights, there, oh, that's better. The Bitcoin standard right now, Wiley down there. You can look at this book if you want to. Thank you to our viewers for sending this in. Holy shnikes right now. This market be falling. I wonder what Bitcoin's doing. Nice little move to the downside right now. So yeah, this is the essential guide to Bitcoin's histories, property, and future. Well, hey man, I don't know if Bitcoin's the future or not, but it looks like Tesla right now is not the future, as this is down now $8 in the money as we barbecue up some more profits right now. Gone is Tesla right now, sold to the highest bidder right now, but don't bid too much because you would have saved yourself some money holding on. Right now, let's go back in here. The bottom of the day on Softy is 225. So, I mean, we're almost there. We have an $8 winner in Softy. We're not even talking about PayPal right now. Look at that short on PayPal that we put on right there. So, you know, PayPal is going to be a good one there to the downside. The funny thing about this is not really breaking. What up, PayPal? This could be another banger short. I'm going to hold on to this and focus on my other ones. But wow, Microsoft now $3. That is just getting killed right here. Yeah, PayPal for some reason though, every other name seems to be at the bottom right now. Like, why is this not a $5 winner for PayPal? I think it can get there. Let's see if it does. Nice little downside move. Holy crap. Guys.
Volatility spiking.
Volatility. What is the VIX at right now? Because we actually don't have the VIX here on our platform. So let's just see what the VIX is doing right now. Unfortunately, I have to call up Yahoo Finance for you guys there. So not even that big, man. I'm waiting for the VIX to get to 40 before I really sit there and start buying anything. So right now, this is as of 240. This is not even real time. I need to get a real time VIX.
So we can use, I like to use UVXY just as a proxy.
Okay, someone said 34.
But
okay.
Yeah, 34 it's
Thanks,
at.
Guys, yeah.
But there's a big level. UVXY is one I like to track. It's at this high from just yesterday, right? So you made a 13.6. I just marked it off there. Is it tests that level? If you're sitting there looking for places to take profit essentially, or where you could have a bit of a slowdown, a lot of times I want that confirmation. Maybe you bounce off of 3,600, maybe you bounce off morning lows in the NASDAQ, simultaneously why we get some resistance coming in volatility. And if that happens, then you can get a bit of a checkup and then a bounce to the upside. And then what can happen is it gives you an opportunity to get back into some of these shorts. Now I got out of Coinbase again before Bank of England came in on the trailing stop. Talked about putting the trail in. If it bounces off of VWAP, I don't know that I want to be in the long here. But it might give me a chance to get 71s if we do get that bit of a curl there. So I am going to be watching out very closely. UVXY is an indicator I like to use. I see you in there. Oh yeah, I mean, I saw someone mentioning Peggy. PGY has been all over some of the scanners. I know it's been popping up in my Trade Idea scanner pretty much the majority of the day. This is a big run that it's been on the last few sessions here, but it's having a lot of trouble through $5. It's broken, I want to say 6 or 7 times. Managed to pull back every single time, but this could take it out for good here. Gets through this new fresh high of the day, and I don't care what's happening in the market. These small caps don't really tend to give a darn a lot of times what's going on overall, but this is a good little runner here. I've been looking for it to hold above that $5. This could be it. Is the volume starting to creep back to the upside, and we're just hitting power hour now.
Yeah, that's yeah. When you put it that way, it's kind of mind blowing. That this
Feels
market
later.
still has an hour to go. $9 now in the money on Tesla. Like, you want to talk about a name that is really, like, I'm doing the same thing as Neil, but I'm not using a trail just because I don't want to use it right now. I mean, I could use it right now. I just put my trail at 216.50. Like Tesla, sorry, 217.50. Like Tesla is just like, oh man, the amount of shares that I had here and here, like if I'd still had those, man, you wouldn't be seeing me till probably the third week in December. But this is a nice downside move here for Tesla. Now just crushing it downside now as it keeps on going, man. Yeah, here we go. I booked already So I'm going to Rome in the summer. So that's the only thing right now that's booked in for me coming in. So that's my next little vacay there. I might make another move back to Miami because the daughter is bugging me. We could do that in like February, March.
That's more of a later.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not Miami. I don't know. They've never been like down south. Like south, like Caribbean and stuff like that. So we may do something like that.
Go to Antigua. That's where I'm
That's
going
what I'm
next
saying.
year.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you are going to go. Yeah,
Well, I'm going
for family, right?
I'm doing a big family.
Yeah.
There's a big family event for me. My family's from Antigua in the Caribbean, so big family event happening over March break that we're going to be at. And someone just asked my outlays. Oh, I'm also going to go hopefully to Paris. We're trying to figure out the date, but. Spoiler alert, I was taking my wife to Paris for her birthday, and then COVID happened. So we're going to make up for that by doing the trip next year. At least that's the plan, if we can figure out a date. Someone asked me where my stop was on lays. I did mention it, but it just broke now anyways. This 3-minute chart does not want to give, for whatever reason, I'm missing like half the day in my 3-minute. So I'll pop it over. It was at 295. It just broke now. I'm now out of lays. Not the chip, although the chips are delicious. This one looks like it's not going to hold up at all. There's a bit of an iceberg bid forming, or at least that I've observed here on CCL. So it's gotten down to this 650, and every single time it gets right down to, just a few shares left on the bid, just a few thousand shares, and then it sort of pops right back up. It's now bounced a couple of times here. I do want to hang on to this, give it a chance to break that 650, but if it doesn't go pretty soon, I'll take some more shares out above. It's a VWAP retrace, but with the market holding out like this is the one I was able to hold on to after the Bank of England came out. So I want to give it a chance to break this iceberg at $6.50.
All right. Yeah. So we just took another piece out there of Microsoft, and we're getting lighter and lighter on it, obviously, but. I don't know, man. Okay, finally, there goes. I mean, remember I was just saying PayPal's probably a short right there. I didn't add to it just because we already have it on, but there's PayPal right there, 83.32, down now 50 cents from that last level, and the market is still cranking lower. Follow me on Twitter as I'm talking about this the whole time right now. There's the other move down. Like, I posted all of these trades. I got to figure out, because what I was noticing is also my Instagram. Follow me at tradertv.Sean for a little bit more personal stuff, but I was posting on there and it was like, I got so many more likes there on Instagram than I even thought. So definitely follow me on Instagram. Follow me also here, from Twitter. And there it is, nice little move downside now. $10 in the money now on Tesla. So let's see how far we can go. Microsoft, $3 in the money. Tesla, $10 in the money. PayPal right now, $2. What's up, Brendan?
I just saw a note on Disney, guys. This was going back 10, 15 minutes ago. I mean, it's down anyways with the overall market here, but Disney apparently delaying more movie releases going into the new year. So right back to day lows here for DIS.
Remember they delayed that new Star Wars.
Yeah,
they canceled it or something.
They canceled one of the Star Wars ones they were going to put out, which I'm watching that Andor. Andor's really good, but what do you mean it's not bad? I think Rob's out there telling me that it's not bad. I actually think it's quite good so far. But you got to have product to come out there. I guess it makes sense. If you're going to be cutting costs, delaying production is going to be part of it. So that makes a little bit of sense going into a recessionary environment. That's going to be the truth. But this is getting hammered now. And we're getting really close to, it hasn't happened yet, but I got my alert set up for this at $90. And when we get to 90, yeah, maybe we'll stick on the bid for a little bit and then reverse into the short. But you break that low. It hasn't broken the summer lows, and that's at $90. Disney through 90 is going to be a break when it does happen. There's just no question about it. I see you guys in the chat. Like, they like Andor. It's a solid show, but overall, it's not a good look for Disney on the chart. It rejected that 100 level pretty big. Just recently, and now 90 is looming. If that breaks, it's going to get ugly. Peggy just managed to dip and hold VWAP, so that's about 475. No breakout once again. I'll give it one chance, maybe barcode here. There's still an hour left, right? So if it wants to consolidate, do one of these for a few minutes, then grabbing the long on VWAP will make some sense. I think small caps are the only place I want to be long that I can find here. I don't want to be chasing any big cap names until we hit the lows. If we bounce off the lows, maybe I can find something that I want to go into the long side of. But Peggy showing signs of strength off of VWAP, even on that dip.
Yeah, nice little bottom there for Softy. So now we got to start thinking about getting something out. Our trade there for not Microsoft, So I just want to give an update here. 216.20 will get out on on Tesla if it does come back down 216.20 or so. Just some of these, I mean, it's kind of random. I just was noticing some of these little wick hires right here. That's 20 right there. So I want to make sure to capture some profit. I mean, part of this game, right, is making sure that you do that. And unfortunately, I did it too often here, all the way to the downside. But I'm going to put another bid right here at the bottom, 24. I don't know. Hopefully, it's going to not be the bottom. But right there, 224.60. We'll put a bid right there, see if we can get that, and then take a piece out because my next area out right here is 225.16. So let's put that out right now. Oops, not 2025. 225.16, 225.20. We'll just punch out of a little bit of that. If you know, not if we can, we are going to do that. So there it is right there. We're just editing some of our trailing stops. Actually, not trailing stops. We're putting in defined stops at defined levels right now. So let's just see. Maybe we get lucky here, and the market will fill some of those. But we are almost out of this Tesla trade right now. If it just ticks up about another 50 cents, then we're going to get out. Whatever, man. I mean, this is honestly like, you know, whatever. That's pretty good for me right there. Obviously out too early, but you know, for me on Tesla, it was barcoding back and forth, and we did have some decent outs. Like these are decent outs at 221 off of 225, $3. Hold on to something, and this time I'm holding 20%. So still pretty good for me to be able to hold that. So we'll lick our wounds a little bit there and get a bit out. What just popped out?
I found something I like.
Okay, good. Yeah, let's go because I'm just.
I just took a Micron long. I just remembered, what is that stock that was stupid strong in the morning that surprised? It was Micron. It only held VWAP here at 53, but that's all I needed to see. I showed you guys UVXY. It goes into resistance. It doesn't quite get there. It starts to pull back. I'm looking for a chance to play off of that level, play off of the futures at the bottoms. The NASDAQ does this. Just to give you an idea here, the NASDAQ bounces off of its lows. So I'm jumping in here, playing it off of that support, and it's pretty binary. If we hold support, great. I think we can retest some of these tops. Maybe even like a 54 area for some lower highs. If we break that support, it'll be 53. We call it like 52.90 or so. So I'm only risking about 30 pennies to try and capture. Halfway gives me that 50 to 60, and then the other half gives you up to 54. Try to hold on to it. But I have multiple levels to look for in terms of where I want to be wrong on this trade. If UVXY gets above 13.6, I don't like that. If we break the lows on the NASDAQ or the ES, I don't like that. If we break 52.80 on Micron here, then I definitely want to get out of that one as well. So I was looking for something relatively strong that I could play this bounce. I was thinking even bottom picking a few things like a Tesla, but then someone in the chat mentioned getting stopped out or looking at Ford. Maybe they were in a long trade that might have trailed you out there. I could see that happening, but let's not forget, Ford is still a relatively strong stock. I just got into Peggy at 482, so let's not forget about that small cap as well. But Ford's holding its breakout price. So it broke out this morning in a big way at about 1142, the price, not the time, and it's managing to hold that. So I think this is another one. If you like risk to reward, you'd be risking about 10 cents. I just like Micron better because it's above VWAP as opposed to Ford. But a couple of names that are trying to hold these bids as the market bounces off its lows. Brendo?
Big moves still happening, guys, when it comes to anything UK-based. Wanted to show you this again. Here's the pound right now. Absolutely falling off. I can show you there. That's a little better. Absolutely falling off a cliff right now. We broke 110, went straight through to 109.8 for the pound, straight to the downside. If you want something that's UK-based as an ETF, this is EWU, which is an iTrust UK ETF, straight to the downside. If you missed it again, Bank of England's Bailey saying they will be done and out of the market buying bonds as of this Friday. So that seems to have really kicked off this selling to the downside. EWU, a UK-based ETF.
That's an ugly looking chart as we just pull that up. And that's what happens. And you look at actually Greg was on the midday show, our floor manager, talking about how you get these events that are moving markets like this. And it's just, we talk about CPI moving markets. When was the last time you actually gave a darn about the Bank of England making comments? And they just absolutely trashed this market to the downside. Because quite frankly, it was a relatively strong market before that happened. And as we try to get these, as we get some of these pops, look at Coinbase. Like, I was thinking, okay, well, whatever. Like Coinbase, if the market can pop off the lows, maybe it'll retest 70 and you can short, like 71, sorry, or even 70, and you can short some of the pops. That's not happening at all. It's holding consolidation. And if it breaks down from here, look at the gap that if this breaks consolidation in Coinbase, you could be looking at like a 67 price to be short. So as the market takes out the low, I'll go back to the well of one of the names that I've been thinking you should be short every single chance you get, and it's going to have to be Coinbase. The first look would be a relatively tight stop because it's still in the channel, and I want it breaking VWAP, but it's going to be hard to ignore this one if this market does, in fact, break these lows. Maybe the chips can hold up. If one does, I'm betting it's going to be Micron, but that's if one does. At this point, it looks like the market does want to head to the downside. I'm going to hold on to that CCL, see if we can continue to get that one through, and then watch out. I was talking about Disney there. That could also take out its lows after Brendan brought you that news. Another delay, not a delay. Yeah, well, actually, yeah, pushing back production, and they already had some cancellations, but that's about 20 cents or 30 cents off its low of the day.
Yo, Quantran, yeah, you are 100% right, man. Too many stems in this trade right here. We need to just go straight down and then plant it at the bottom. Look, man, I mean, I wish that's right, but you know, whatever. I got the trade on, so that's fine there. And yeah, you know what? I mean, I do need to do better. We talked about that. The problem with me doing better, and I'll show you some examples right here because Micron is just one right here where, you know, like when I'm wrong, like I'm trying to hold, like almost every single, like look at this, short and out, it's a winner, but it didn't continue, so then I got stopped out. Short again, right? It won right there, we took some profit, but then it didn't continue to go down, so then I got stopped out. Short again right here, right? Waiting for it to flush, doesn't do it. Then all of a sudden the stop out. And the thing is like, of course, when I sit here and, oh my God, PayPal. Like this was the name that I should have, when we called this over there and I was like, why is PayPal not crashing? I hope some of you took this because now it's $1 down. But anyways, what I was getting at there was just as good as this Tesla short looks, like that's the same way to me, the setups on Micron were there, the setups on whatever stock I've lost on today. Like I lost way too much on Micron, but like, here on Netflix, I only had 200 shares or 300 shares. I still wound up losing $300 on Netflix here because it did that move, right? It went back to the downside there for Netflix back in, right? So that's the problem. Like sometimes you take the trade and it looks great. And then other times it's like, okay, it blows out. And then like if I held those 300 or whatever shares I had, what are we talking about? Netflix? Yeah, a couple hundred shares to that one. Then yeah, I would have been out like $600 or $700 right there. Hard to hold it all the way back down to the downside. Very hard to know when you're right versus when you're wrong. Yeah. Definitely paying off, though, to be able to hold some of these. So I'm pretty happy with the trading here today. Let's not, get lazy, though, and make sure that we do cover some of the trades that we do have on board. With that being said, it's unfortunate. Microsoft is still, it's not unfortunate, we're short, and it's great. But it did take out that 225.20 area, so we did get a piece out. Then my bid filled at the bottom of the day, and now we're starting to make some more moves to the downside, right? So, yeah, man, it sucks that we still don't have the majority of any of my position on right now, but still a nice little downside move here. Let's see what this market wants to do the rest of the day. It's only 312, man. This could continue its downside move, including right now for Tesla. It never took it out. It got close to 216. I'm still going to keep that stop. My stop on Tesla is 216.25. This is not, some of the moves are starting to come back up to the upside, so just watch out there. I feel like there is some more upside pressure coming maybe.
Well, I actually just got out of the Micron long because one of the indicators I had there, it broke support, but right before it broke support, UVXY broke out, so I drew that line. There was a top on UVXY. If we come to my chart for a quick second there was that top. It broke out. I got out, and then I got right into, I was talking Coinbase for the short. So the second that happened, I jumped into Coinbase in that consolidation. I'm not really adding to it just yet. I want to see us follow through. The NASDAQ also broke its low. So if we follow through, start holding that bid, make another couple of tests, maybe at that recent high in UVXY or at that low of the day on the NASDAQ. And I can always work back into this or add to this inside of that consolidation and work this on a break. Because if we break 68.80, this is about a 60 to 70 cent range. There's a huge gap to the downside on what is a stock that's up 3% and had a positive catalyst. I have to acknowledge that on Coinbase today, but below VWAP, so much room to the downside here. Going back over to CCL, it broke 50, and then whoever's on the bid at 50 just planted the flag once again. So I'll get on the bid here and sort of join that party, just get a little more out, because for whatever reason, there's a buyer at $6.50 on CCL. Got to be able to respect that that's the case. So I'll get some more shares. If it continues to hold this, it might even turn into a bit of a long play, noting that relative strength. Peggy, which I got into, is now starting to bounce off VWAP. I haven't really taken anything out just yet. With a stop back here and underneath VWAP, it's really risking less than 10 cents or just slightly less than 10 cents. So 1-to-1 ends up coming in here before we get to $5. I'll place them out in front of 5, work toward that high of the day as you're getting a bit of a VWAP bounce, fortunately, here on PEGY. And as I say, the second I talk about us retesting on UVXY, here it comes. So UVXY is trying to retest that 1360. If it bounces off that level and makes a fresh high, then I add to Coinbase. If it breaks back to the downside, then I stop Coinbase out inside of this channel. So this is a position I might be adding to, but I want to use volatility as my proxy here. And I could actually show you the chart as I'm saying that. If we bounce off it, which we just did, take out this high and start going, then I want to be adding to the Coinbase short because I like it even more if we continue this breakout in volatility that we're seeing.
Jeez, man, this is like, wow. I mean, I believed in the thesis that I was saying there. I mean, obviously the Bank of England came out there and talked about all that bond.
Yeah.
I mean, Brennan just came with that dollar. That is absolutely destruction.
That's ugly.
Down to what, 109 right now on that? Absolutely horrible. I am going to, though, look at the VIX one more time because, look, man, we're getting pretty elevated again. 34.35 right now on the VIX. So just watch out for that play. It's now, nearing some of those tops that we talked about, 40, where we want to try to get out. So the highs right now have been like 35. We're near like these highs for the VIX. So just be careful. I feel like once the VIX gets going, there's so many opportunities, to maybe get long because it's been stretched too far. We talked about that earlier this morning, sort of how that all looks and how that works. So just be careful with some of those plays coming in. Okay, what's happening with Tesla? All right, nice little bounce in the market. It just went to 216 there. My Microsoft, I don't have a target on the out right now. We are planning on holding this for a little bit longer. I think our big out should probably be PayPal. If PayPal takes out this, just because it didn't drop as fast, I mean, that's a great trade. But if we take out VWAP right now back to the upside on PayPal, I think that's worth something to get out. So we're going to wait for that. Maybe we can, maybe we won't here on that name. But where is that? I mean, 83.15, yeah, that's right there. That's that level that we're looking at. I might get out of this a bit earlier. PayPal does have a chance to get back up. Yeah, let's do 82.60 or so for PayPal right there. See if we can get back into that. What else is jamming right now? I don't even know what else to look at right now. I mean, the market's downside. I'm not sure if I'm
going to do this.
Do you have a long?
There's not, the only long I got is this small cap Peggy.
Yeah,
it bounced off VWAP. It did get to $5. So like I said, I would take some out in front of 5. I still like the potential breakout because there's still 40 minutes left in the session. So I will be out of this. If we get to, I'll actually pop this in front of 10s, like on 6 or 8 or something like that. Because if we do get to that top, I like a separate trade. So I want to be in the breakout trade, start thinking about that. We've already got the VWAP bounce if we can get back to the upside. But look what just happened.
Let's go.
Yeah, so VVXY, it was continuing that breakout, try to take out that high, and now we're right back to that resistance level. I'd hate to see a wick top. If we have a wick top and you start pulling back in, then a lot of these shorts are going to start to get broken. So that's what I was looking for on Coinbase here. As we reject that break, if we're beneath 13.6 and it takes out this channel, which is about 69.60 here, then I got to dump out of Coinbase. I am not adding to it unless we're still continuing the volatility breakout. And then on top of that, you have the market, which is bouncing off the lows. I heard some people in the back, not some people in the back, some chatter in the back, because Tesla 215 just bounced and held to the penny and already bounced $1 here. So we've seen this in the afternoon show before where Tesla's on an even dollar level and it's been pretty good. I didn't get to see how much size was on the bid, but if it gets there again, I'll take a gander. And you might see a little bit of a long pop in at like 215.11 or something like that. But I'm pretty sure you can figure out where the stop is going to be and how far I'm not going to let it go past 215.
I like that gander. Yeah, that's.
It's all Sharif, man.
That's what I'm trying to think about. Well, you had a couple. You had the extra long weekend. You read some encyclopedia or dictionaries. Got those
Thesaurus.
going. Hopefully not. Hopefully, yeah. Thesaurus is a great one. Hopefully not encyclopedia. But okay.
Yeah,
So our Tesla's almost out, man. It's 216.25. It's bounced off there a couple times. We just, the reason why there's nothing like scientific about it. I mean, realistically, we could wait for that. I might now do that. I mean, that bounce off. Yeah, let's cancel that trigger now. All right, let's get out of that one. So the reason why I'm keeping the trigger now, I'm gonna up it to VWAP, just because like it just bounced off that 15. So give it a little bit of work there at that 15. So a good call by Neil and the guys in the back there, because now this is what you want it to do. You want basically to let it breathe a little bit. It could bounce off that, find a top, and then the other way, right? So I'd hate to get, it breaks there briefly and then crashes back down. So I feel like waiting for, what is this, 216.80? I mean, it's not that much different. Let's just do that. Let's go to 216.80, just in case we do get, I'm going to go 216.81 if you guys were wondering about like what exact price there. And then, hey guys, if it breaks higher than that, we out. That's it, man. So we're going to hold it back to VWAP. I mean, this is the trade of the day right now. Tesla to the downside here. That's a great one for me. It's by far, I mean, Microsoft, depends where we get out, but the two most profitable names for me today is going to be Microsoft, obviously, and Tesla. But let's not sleep on some of these other ones, man. Starbucks was a great long off the bottom there. We had 86 long. We boomed that to 86.70. We don't have the very top, but that was a good long for us as well. Like I said, this one's on me for sure. I have over 500 trades today, by the way. Netflix just took too many shares at not a great level. Like I said, 300 to 400 shares right there. We're down 300 on the stock. And then, I don't know, could have held it, but I don't know. I didn't have any key levels, but look where this stopped at though, 223, right where we had some consolidation there. So I'm trying to work it out here and see if we can't get something a little bit better. But yeah, the power hour is right now, not the power hours coming in, shout out, but the market definitely coming in right now for that. So let's find some more trades, man. All right. What about Win? Let's go over to Win right now. We did have that not controversy, but more COVID in China. Whenever there's more COVID in China, then they go full lockdown. And when they go full lockdown, then stocks like LVS, Win, all these names are going to wind up getting hit on that. So, wow. Win was just upgraded and motoring. I've loved Win. You guys know that. Like, I really like Win. I think that the valuation there is just way too low. It's not even considering, like, every time Win moves, it's based on Macau. Like, it's almost like Vegas doesn't exist. But there it is. A nice move all the way back to 75 there for Win. So it just got all the way back up, man, off these 50 bottoms, all the way to 75. That's 50% right there on Win, on a good name that I really like. So I feel like more Chinese problems. You want to look to pick up some more Win down here at 50 and change. I really think that could be a banger win for you on Win. I didn't really mean to. I mean, it came out like it sounded like I meant to do that, but I actually didn't. Okay,
you just say you did.
Yeah, just say I did. Yeah, I meant to say that. Okay, so there it is. Just look at this. Just for example, Tesla's now above it, but it just took down that price where we normally would have got out at, and then faded right back to 215.75. So I think we're at like a decision point here for Tesla
this
for
is
sure.
now screaming to the upside.
So yeah, everything's screaming to the upside. I don't have an out for Softy, but I'm guessing we should just respect VWAP on all of these and then really just be like, yeah, buddy, good trading here today. I'm glad that you guys are joining us, and thanks for doing that because this market was really tricky there in the midday, but the shorts really paid off here late.
Yeah, they did pay off late, and I didn't have Micron short. We were shorting a lot of other things, but not Micron. But I did get out of this long maybe too early. Coinbase is somehow still holding that channel, so it's about 15 to 20 cents away from stop. I'm going to leave the stop in. I mean, I had the stop into that channel for a reason, and if the market wants to oblige me by rolling back over, fair enough. But I got to start looking for a long. I mean, Tesla 215 could happen. It does feel like with this bounce that we're seeing in the market, volatility pulling back, I'm not sure we see that price again. So I can go back to the well and just sort of say what was the strongest name out there. Well, I shouldn't say that. What was one of the strongest names out there, and it was a Micron. Now, I'm going to be buying it at a worse price and still playing off of VWAP. I'm going to have to maybe think about sizing down so I can add in front of 53. But I'm going right back to what was relatively strong. This PEGY, it's starting to roll over here, so the chance of a breakout is lessening at this point, the closer we get to the end of the day. We're day trading, as you guys know here. For anyone that's been watching the show, or if you're new, we are day trading, Sean and I. So we have to be out of these positions by the end of the session, which does mean there's a bit of a time horizon where if it doesn't go by X time, I got to cover it, whether it's hit my stop or my trading target. It doesn't really matter. You have to get out before 4 o'clock. So in terms of getting into a breakout trade, there's always a cutoff point at which I no longer want to chase a breakout. If it starts getting close to those 350 imbalances, I'll cancel that order. It's still valid for now on PEGY, but at some point I am going to have to cancel that, and maybe it just gives me an opportunity to get back out here. I'm going to lower my bid offer again down to 506. It looks like it's going to start slowing down. It was a good VWAP bounce. I was kind of hoping for more. I thought this stock had a chance to break out through the top. Maybe that happens tomorrow.
All right. I said I'd try to find some more trades for you. There, we looked at Win. Didn't really see too much there. Microsoft still bouncing around. My eyes going everywhere here just to see if there is anything that we may want to look at. I mean, Tesla's back down to that 216 level, and again, this is why we didn't get stopped out, because it's just dancing around these levels that we talked about. We're going to wait for that I don't know, whatever price I told you before, 216.81 right there for Tesla. So let's wait to see if that does come through. Brendan.
Well, afternoon. Here's a volatile stock just popping back up again, guys. HKD on a volume scanner through 44.5, back to the upside again. There's also this one. What sell-off? IMUX, new highs. Heavy volume still on that one.
Yeah, IMUX, huh? All right. We can look at that one. Maybe that's something that we want to look at there. You know what's not? I mean, certain things, like look what Microsoft is down right now, 3.5 or 2%, sorry. Google I was looking at, I think it's just down 1%. Yeah, so, oh man, that sucks. It's ironic now when you look at it, but when you have your outs like this, when you're wrong on the longs, I mean, that's a pretty big save right there. But, Google, again, 96 and change. We can look at it. I can't really look at it from a long-term standpoint there because we don't have the charting for that. But right there it is right there for Google. That's that bottom of 96 put back just on September, or is that October 3rd? Those were the bottoms, right? Well, there's September 30th anyways. 95.77. So Google's still off the bottom, but not very far off the bottom, about $1 right now off that bottom, and the day's low is 96.31. So I'm just wondering about this as everything's now starting to go lower, lower. Even though we did get a reboot there in the NASDAQ, probably should have gone over there and shorted that one. We can look at it. I actually lost this morning or this afternoon on the TQQ going short here just too early. We went short at about 11:30 into the TQQ and got blown out, and there's the move down. There's the retracement back to that level, so maybe should have shorted the Qs. And the TQQ is just a triple NASDAQ ETF, right? So as that goes, wow. Also, JP Morgan and some of the banks, man, those have been some downside. We haven't talked too much about the banks today, but they're coming out, what
Friday.
Is it, Thursday? Yeah. I feel like it's Thursday, but
okay.
Could be Friday. It could be Friday. I don't know. Just kind of guessing on that one. But there it is right there, 102 bottom for JP Morgan. Basically historic lows right now. Almost 1-to-1 to book value on some of these names. Just absolutely crazy destruction in JP Morgan, man. Buying it at, 85, whatever it was in the pandemic. Now doesn't seem so smart. We did make a big move up to 160, 170, though, in JP. Yeah, more than that. Wow. 175 or so in JP Morgan there. Now down to 102. You're telling me that JP Morgan right now is down 70% on the year? That's banks aren't supposed to move like that. So
unless it's a financial crisis.
Unless it's a financial crisis, which it's not supposed to be right now. We'll wait to see what's happening right here. But JP Morgan getting hit pretty bad. I mean, they all are, all the banks across the board. Canadian banks, let alone, we've already talked about Deutsche Bank, things like that, just getting absolutely timber right now. BAC, them all. I mean, looking at them all right now. Yeah. Goldman Sachs, they're all.
Well, the only reason I'm looking at BAC is BAC is at its low from, if you go back to the July lows that some of the banks put in, it's pretty much at that bottom, and it just bounced off it. So, going into earnings, I mean, ideally, I'd rather we trade this level as we get some reports in, as opposed to looking at it now. But if we open up tomorrow and you're beneath this 29.5 on BAC, I mean, I don't know. It just feels like the chart's a heck of a lot like that Intel chart. Like I felt like you start breaking some of these key support levels, and you start shorting it every single day that it's below that level until it decides it wants to break back above, and then that puts it back into support. So, I mean, BAC sets up for me there. I know a couple of names have already broken those channels to the downside. Speaking of downside, here comes Tesla 215 again. I mentioned it got down to 215.00 before bouncing, so I wanted to take a shot at this. And I am on the bid. I'm waiting for 11s. Maybe I don't get 11s. The other play is you could take a little bit at like 30s and 40s, and then maybe add to it as you get closer to that price, you manage risk. But it's not even getting down to that low, unfortunately. And Micron just wants to go without me. And if it wants to do that, then maybe it's just a breakout clean here on Micron because the market's trying to go. What was that?
I feel like our internet is almost non-existent right now, so watch out for the stream over there, Lucas. Just watch out because our internet is super slow for some reason right now. Like my e-signal's not even really loading, so just be careful with that. It could be data coming in, nothing to do with the internet, but just a heads up in case there is something right there. Okay, I'm gonna do something crazy right now. What about a long? How about Apple? Right now, that doesn't, it's a daily chart. What am I doing? Let's look at a 1 minute chart here for Apple. I was looking at this, man, just taking out this 139. Again, Apple more aggressive than the market. We do know that if there is ever a flight to quality, then Apple will be where everyone flies to. So let's try that. A break of 139 for Apple. I don't mind it. I'm going to go long if that does happen. I'm just putting the order in right now to do said trade. So, yeah, we'll pull it back down a little bit for Apple. Like, if Apple breaks 139, I don't want to hold it for that long. So I'm just trying to assess like how much, risk I want to put into this. That bottom right there is 50, so I think we could probably do that. All right, so now that I've analyzed my risk there, I haven't analyzed it that well, but if we break 139, I feel like I would look to target out right around here, 138.50. So, that's something to look at. And again, I only want to take it if we take this. That VWAP is that 50 period is 138.90, right? So we'll see what happens there. I'd like to see it go upside a little bit more and then watch out for 139 coming through again. So that's going to be a trade here for me. We are getting close to getting out of Tesla. Microsoft, we don't really have a target. But again, if Microsoft takes VWAP, we'll get out as well. That's 225.41. So I'm just setting up these trades right now to get out. I mean, there's only 30 minutes left in the market. Then you have imbalances, which I'm waiting to see. I'm not even on the right tab. There it is. Brendan, wow, like great. It comes out at 331, but thanks there, Brendan. It's only 75 million to sell right now for the market. So maybe we do get a little bit of a relief rally coming at 350. I think that's possible. 225, okay, so 225.50. We're still a little ways away, but that's my Microsoft target.
Yeah, and I'm now out of this one. I got to take it on Peggy. And sometimes if it's going to trade in a range, just trade inside the range, right? Like I wanted to break out in PGY. That's not what happened here. We got the dip into VWAP. I said I'd get out. I moved my offer from like sitting at 11s to 8s, and then eventually to 6, which we just got filled at. But when you bounce off VWAP like this, sometimes you just got to get paid out because it cannot take out this top. It's broken 5 several times. There has not been any follow through. I'll be looking for this to do that tomorrow. Maybe you can catch that breakout because it is a nicely trending stock. And above 5, I thought it had this chance to get up to like 560 to 580, this area from back in April. But unfortunately, it does look like the only trade was going to be catching that nice little dip trade and scalp. The breakout will just have to wait for a possible chance tomorrow. The good thing about a break is you don't have to take it unless it happens, right? That's the good thing about that setup. You're going with the momentum. In that case, it takes out the top and not jumping in front of a falling sword, which as I say that, falling sword equals Tesla 215 about to it's at 215.50. That hits on the bid. I am sitting in front of this. It's not a trade that I would put on if we are at 350 when the imbalances come out, but so long as we have time, I still want to give it a chance. And now 250.50 seems to want to hold. But one thing I've learned in a bear market, if you are looking for a long in a stock that is falling heavily, don't compromise on your price, because usually what happens is if I go ahead and just buy it here, I'm probably just paying an extra 60 or 70 cents, and then if it breaks 50s, I'm just losing an extra 50, 60, or 70 pennies there. Allow it to come to me. The market is falling. That means I should get the price that I want. I want long in front of 215, so I'm going to wait for long in front of 215.
Yeah. All right. I am just tweeting out right now. I'm tweeting out the talk that we just had there on trailing stops. So if you guys want to see that, we're tweeting it out right now. That talk that we had about trailing stops. So if any of you guys missed that, or you're wondering about trailing stops or anything like that, that's just uploading right now to Twitter. We will share the link. Okay, watch out now. Apple is getting pretty close, man. We will take that long, like I said, just to see if it. Yeah, Tesla's moving now again.
Damn it.
But we are going to take that long. Here's Tesla. Okay, so our route is still right here, so that's fine. Our route on Microsoft is, sorry, that's Google. I don't even know why I clicked on that. Our route on Microsoft right now is right here, 225.40 or so. Something to look at there for me. And then the Apple trade, it just bounced off almost to the penny there, 139, 138.96. So let me see what happens on a fail break. So like, how far down do we go? Because we do know that that's what we want here. I wonder if that video is too long there. We'll have to see if it's not going to tweet out. But right there, 139 coming through. We're going to watch out for that one. So it fails, and it goes down about 25, 25 cents so far on that fail. So, okay, interesting to note on that one. There it is right there. So hopefully now it has just tweeted out. So you guys can go, there it is right here. You guys can go find that right here on Twitter. It's talking about the trailing stops. I'll put the link in the chat. Please go ahead. Try to find me there on Twitter at TraderTV So many fakes. Many try to imitate, but very hard to duplicate. So right there, watch out for this. Here we go back up to the upside. This is the new position for me. It's going to be Apple long, breaking 139, just to see if we get a little bit of a rally heading into the close. My out now might just be that 75. So let's just see what happens here as we run back up to 139 and change.
Yeah, and as this market does try to get to that upside, I am coming right back to Micron. Micron never made this breakout at 53.50, so I was waiting for it to either dip back down into VWAP, we'll take that trade, or give it that break through this channel here, which it looks like it's about to go. There it goes. Oh, nope. And looking for that print above that 50 price, so it does not quite break out, so we're not really into Micron yet. I've actually canceled my dip buy because it felt like we're imminently going to get that break. Tesla is setting up like it wants to break out. There we go. Just got some 52, so that'll end up triggering in. Back over to one of the stronger names out there in the market, up 4% is Micron, so I'll play this one. I'll give it to this channel here. I'm not giving it all the way back to VWAP. I'll give it to this 53.25. There's a bit of a time horizon issue, as like I said, by the end of the day, we do have to be out of some of these trades. We talked some Roblox, and I know we had a question about Roblox in the short. As the market was bouncing, this never really got back down to retest that 33.50 area. So that support is still valid as far as I'm concerned. This level on 33.50 that you see on the daily chart is still monstrous over there on Roblox. The fact that we get down there with the market down to the lows without even so much as testing this means Roblox has found a bit of strength above that number. So if we do get an upward trend in the market, some longs in Roblox are going to be valid as long as we're above 33.50. But that may be for another day. Into some Micron. Targets will be relatively obvious. I mean, if you look at the chart, you'll see I'm going to get some out in front of 54. I'll get some out in front of 54.25. I'm not sure we get to the high of the day. As strong as the stock has been, that feels like it would be a little bit too much. But there was a lot that was breaking out. Micron has just been unusually strong all day long. That's why I like this break.
Okay, so here we go, man. New position alert. We talked about this. Stop order already in. We already took some profits there as Apple did blow through 139. We got out there at 139.20. Remember what we said? How far did it go down when it broke? It went down to 75. So now, yeah, let's go. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's see if this can get back up to the upside here as we're trying to cash in right now again now for that long. We are out of Microsoft. Fine, of course. As we get out of Microsoft for... not a big winner. What was it, $4? Right there, $3, sorry, on Microsoft. We'll now wait to see. We are not hoping for the moon at all on Apple right now. That imbalance is going to come out, and it could absolutely destroy this, or it could just fade out the rest of the day. I mean, we're literally counter trend right now against this market, long into Apple. We took some out already, and now I'm not really, it's not really impressing me that much. So there it is. Okay, we'll take another out here. Let's see if it goes back up. I'm waiting at 24, and then at 30, and then we can see, hopefully we can get the opportunity to get this out at VWAP if we do start to run back up to the upside. But we already put the out, remember, so we're long at 05. This is why I'm taking it out at 20, because my stop, there's parts coming out at 75. So we want to try to go 1-to-1 and be a little more frugal on it because we're long into a tanking market right now. So the more likelihood of it crashing harder than ripping, I think, is there. But we could get a little bull rally, bear trap rally here into the close. So let's just see what happens now. People have to cover, remember. It doesn't matter if you've made all this short here. At some point, you're going to have to cover. And it looks like, I don't want to get stuck on Apple here. Fine if it goes back down. I mean, honestly, I'm pretty happy with today and with the way that moved there. So far, so good on this. We're learning a lot here today, and I hope you guys are just as excited about trading in the next couple of days as I am, because big numbers coming through, with the big one, of course, coming on Thursday is going to be CPI. So we're getting ready for that. I don't know. I think the read is supposed to be 6.5. We'll see.
I think core is 6.5, and then
what the expected is there.
Yeah, then just regular CPI, that print, I think it was still expected on 8.
Okay.
But
Right.
As I just took first leg out on Micron, I wanted to be happy, and you were sort of saying we're learning a lot, we're having a lot of fun trading on the show, but not to put a damper on things, but I'm going to put a damper on things because it's 3:40, 10 minutes till the imbalances, which we'll show you for free, even though you pay for a data feed to be able to see those. We'll show it to you for free anyways. We're not even at 1,000 likes today. Okay, I see what's up.
It's because we're waiting for a likes graphic to come through.
Well, maybe we get that, maybe we don't, or maybe just the fact we're dropping a little knowledge for you. I'm trying to throw some school words in there. Maybe I didn't do as many as Sharif, so I'll have to expedite my proficiency when it comes to upping my vocabulary and dropping some lyrics on you guys there. But get us to that. There we are. We're back at 1,000, but that's not enough. We like 15. We like 2. 2,000 is twice as much as 1,000, which oddly enough, my daughter is learning because of this Netflix show. I'm telling you, if you have not seen Number Blocks, it is a great cartoon. She's loving that shit, and it's teaching her the heck out of math, but she's all about 1,000 now because that's the new number that she just figured out. So everything's like 1,000 times or 1,000 times bigger. 1,000 is now bigger than 1,000,000 because that's the most recent number that she learned. I'm like, no, it's not. You know it's not, but it's cool. So thank you guys for getting us to 1,000, but we need a heck of a lot more than that. And I'm going to oblige because someone said, look at how dead AMC was. So I pulled up the chart, and I think it's worth looking at for one reason and one reason alone. It breaks lower. It's going to break $6. AMC at $5 is going to be a thing. If we see $5, not just option eligible, that's a big psychological level. I know it's, ignore the stock until it gets there. It's been in a downward trend. But if we see $5, that's going to be a day trader's delight. And we're getting pretty darn close to it. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to set an alert for AMC when it gets to like 520 or so. Brendo?
A couple things. 75 to sell still, guys. No change on that. And here's the numbers expected for CPI. As you said, there's 6.5 on the core, and then 8.1 on the year-over-year number for September coming up on Thursday morning again. Tomorrow, PPI in the pre-market. Then we get FOMC minutes as well in the afternoon. So still plenty tomorrow also.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I remember the minutes.
Yeah,
there.
minutes too. I forgot all about that.
Okay, so as I said, learning lessons more and more and more here every single day, and that is like just don't no matter what, we thought that we could get this we thought there was a chance for the market to go back up, but instead of doing that, instead of it, we did take Apple. There's actually 3 outs up there. We'll average back into where we got out right now back at 90 right here. So, but we are getting close to taking out again half of our position if we break back down below 75. So watch out for that one right now as that's coming in faster than I'd hoped for here. I was hoping to wait out for those imbalances just to see, but it looks like the market just wants to continue to bleed down. And then the next out after that, we talked about it breaking through 50. So looks like that's going to happen even sooner now. So we will wind up giving, thankfully we still have the Tesla long, but it looks like we will give some back here on Apple as it's going to break lower. So I'm just going to get that order ready to go here. Oops, not 148, 138. We got to make sure that we can take that order back in there. So we're going to put out a couple stop orders now for Apple. And, we have our targets, we have our ins, we have our outs now. It just sucks because, we did have I just thought that we could go there. It didn't go. And now we fail right back down. So that's the fail break there on Apple coming back in. you know, part of me says to myself, like, if we fail that break, I could have just got out for flat again there. So take it up. If it doesn't work, get out for flat and then lick your wounds after. But, you know, trying to give ourselves a little bit wider stops, like we mentioned before. And it looks like right now, well, we could have got out for flat. We could still get out for flat. Like, here it goes. Like, if I get out right now, it's a 10-cent hit, right? So let's just see if it makes the move back to the upside here. We have that imbalance coming through. Again, I'm not holding out hope for the imbalance. It's just we broke through there. We do have a move to come back in, and then we're waiting out for that drop. So right now, all good. Let's see where we go from here. Apple looks like it wants to go lower, but hey, man, there's still 17 minutes left. Let's not count out on Apple. See if the market does get a little bit of a rally here into the close. It's not looking like it. We're below the 50 period right now on the NASDAQ. Needs to get a little bit higher there, bouncing off 10,800. Let's just see if Apple can sort of toe the line here for a bit and hopefully start to head northbound.
Yeah, I want to see a little bit of northbound. It would be nice. We'd like to be able to do it so we could ring the register again on Micron. Look, the first trade I took to the long side, and we had a good trade this morning. It won for us, but it wasn't held nearly long enough. Second trade didn't work out. Now the breakout's starting to work. I want to get to 54 here. We got 5 minutes till the imbalances come out, but I was just reminded of something. Someone in the chat had asked, why is Micron so strong when all the chips were weak and the market is down? About the only thing we could find, I got to thank Brendan for this, because there was that note, they were lower as a group, all of the chips, because there were some downgrades. Wells Fargo cutting some price targets on the bunch, but Micron was not included in that list. They talked about all the big names, but Micron wasn't on that. And I don't know if that's the entire reason why it's relatively strong. It could be that it's holding support at 50, but it wasn't included with your AMDs and your NVIDIAs and your Intels, which are, you know, despite the fact, I mean, AMD briefly got back to positive. You see it's below VWAP and Micron's trying to break out. And that was the only reason that we could come up with. But 5 minutes, as I said, to the imbalances. I have gone ahead and canceled that 215 on Tesla. It's holding 216 at this point. If I see 215 on the bid, I probably don't want it, and there's not enough time for it to go if I do get that fill. So I'll have to walk away from that trade over there in Tesla, unfortunately.
Yeah, we still have that same trade on, waiting for that to break. If it breaks, great. If not, fine. We'll hold on to the rest of that. We did get out of 25% of Apple as it went to 97 there. So there's our out. It just went right back to VWAP and a little bit higher than that. So there it is. Sorry, 95. Sorry, not 97. Right there out for Apple as it just... I don't know. The breakout didn't happen. We're going to try to hold out a little bit of hope there on that trade, and then just look to see if there is anything else. Amgen might follow through. You know what? Amgen we haven't really looked at in a while there. $245. Okay. So the current price for Amgen right now, $245. Might continue tomorrow. Yeah, but isn't this? Oh no, that was Merck, wasn't it? Developed something there for, was it blood?
I thought
clots
Amgen had
yesterday or
news.
something?
I thought Amgen
Yeah,
had
they
news
all
today.
do, and that's the thing. Like whenever you get some nice reports like this, you know, you definitely want to see about a second day carry forward there. So nice move for Amgen. Whoever that was in the chat, what's up? I'm gonna find your name there. I missed it right now. Oh, there it is, Jeff. Oh, Jeff Ross. Right now, isn't Jeff Ross? That name is. Wasn't he the guy that does the something Ross? The when you roasts.
He's a comedian.
Yeah, he's the comedian for the roasts, right? So, okay, there's Amgen anyways. It topped out at 250 today. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Waiting for a little bit of a higher bid there coming through. I would look, I mean, this is the daily range. Watch out for 258 breaking right now. So, yeah, that's not a bad call there. I like that, Mr. Ross.
So, Mr. It's not going to show up in the chat because it blocks certain words, but I can say he just typed in there. He's like, yeah, the same smartass. Yeah. I mean, it'd be amazing if you are that Jeff Ross. Then welcome to the program. But you might be able to tell. We can appreciate some humor around here, but our chat, like, it's Google, right? It's YouTube, so it's going to block.
That's not Jeff Ross.
I'm not saying it is. It's just he was joking around saying
the
same smartass. But if it was, it would be hilarious. Look, it's obviously the censor is going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it, and it makes some sense. You want to make sure that certain things are going to be out of there. I do like Amgen for some possibilities tomorrow, like you said, Sean. Sometimes it is whether or not you get that follow through. Speaking of follow through, not really happening up to 54 as the market's rolling back over again. So I'm going to slap a break-even stop on Micron because imbalances come out in 2.5 minutes. And I usually am saying, okay, trailing stop or just having out in general. Same thing with CCL. I've had a trail at 665, which is my entry price anyways this entire time. I have 64.5 to the short side for whatever reason it wants to average or I guess, round down on the position board. So if it does break higher than 65, I'm out. If we break lower than 53.50, then I'm out of Micron. But this market trying to bounce to the downside again.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, Apple was almost stopping me out, and then went right back up to 90. So I'm going to take one more piece out there at 91 or so. It just stopped at 91. That's where I put the offer. I'm not going to change it right now for Apple, as we only have 2 minutes to go right now. Hopefully we can get that fill, because it just almost... Oh, here, it looks better on the chart if I zoom in. Almost got me out on that wick down there. So I'm trying to be as careful as I can, but at the same time, trying to appreciate, there it is. Okay, so out some 91s. This is just where VWAP, or the 50 period, VWAP's all the way up here. That's where I'm thinking we could go. But, you know, trying to hold out a little bit for that. I do now have another target to get out here, 139.10, which is these sort of top wicks right there that we got to. And then after that, I have another one up here at 20. Again, just hoping that this is something that could come through for us here on Apple when we only have a minute left. But now we are out of about 60% of this trade, and it's a flat. I mean, it's kind of a positive trade there, because we're able to get something out there for 15 cents, and now we're simply just losing like 7 cents a piece right now there. So here we go. Let's go back up to the upside. Maybe we can get this. We're at 139.10 right now as we do get ready for these imbalances. So let's have a quick look right now as it's starting to go back to the upside. Let's see if we do have pressure on the NASDAQ and on Apple to get going here. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's see if that is possible. Now Apple going right back up to the upside.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla's almost at 217. That bounce. If you got that 15 the first time, congratulations. To be sure, the market is coming back. We got 30 seconds to imbalances, so I'll keep it here. The long I got's Micron. I got a break-even stop on the CCL short, but you know, I'm kind of looking for. It was indicated 75 million to sell. That's obviously not that significant of a number. It could come to the buy side easily here in the next 10 seconds. It doesn't mean the market goes up, but it does mean you want to give your longs a potential chance to get to some of those highs. So we'll get those in about 5 seconds, as long as my clock isn't incorrect.
It's not.
I know it's not. I'm using the one that you have there, but they're the imbalances. You'll see them pop in. We do have Nielsen. That's a buyout that's getting closed. TLT on there. CCL 1.3 to sell, so I'm short. Why won't it go down? And AMD and Nvidia both 1 million exactly to sell. Block 800,000 to buy side. Micron 800,000 to sell. So I'll get, you know what? I'm just gonna punch out of Micron. I'm not even gonna bother. If it goes the other way, my stop was 3 cents lower at break even. Look, it does feel like it's a little bit of a nothing burger, but it's 1.1 billion.
It's a big one, yeah.
It's 1.1 billion to sell, despite the fact that I'm not seeing any Apples or Amazons in there.
No, Apple
but a couple of the
must
big
be.
chips
There's
are a million to
Apple.
sell. Apple 600,000.
Yeah, Apple, Google. Yeah, so unfortunately, there it is. We'll flush our last little bit down the toilet. We were waiting, seeing if it was going to go the other way. Stupid, I guess, in hindsight, pretty stupid idea, because there it is to the downside there for Apple. So we did get stopped out. But again, you know, it's not that we anticipated that, or else we would have got out. But that's part of the risk when you do hold it into those imbalances. So there's the first out at 70 there, or at 65, whatever. Sorry, the break was breakthrough 70, so that's 66. We actually wind up getting not a great price actually for Apple. And then we got a break of 50, and we actually got out at 49. So that was a good one. But again, remember we were only holding about 60% of it, so still a flush down the toilet. That's for sure. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we won on it, because we didn't. So that's what that trade is right now for the closing trade coming through. It's all good, because we still do have a piece here in Tesla, so that's still coming to the downside. It does kind of suck, because obviously if Apple was the other way, then we'd really be laughing about that, but it's not. So let's just continue our movement here on this market and watch what's happening. Tesla, I still have that same out, don't I? Why didn't that fill? No, it was 216.80 break. So that's literally where it went up to. So, you know, sometimes you get a little lucky. That's lucky right there that we don't get out on that break. So I think right now we could take a little bit of an advantage of this movement and just sort of put our stop right now. 216.30 on Tesla. I'm changing the stop. We might as well just get out now, because, hey, we don't need to play this game anymore. 216.31 on Tesla is going to be the out. Let's see what price we get. We'll cross all the way up to 50 there and see about that one. We're going to take $8 no matter what on this Tesla trade. So far, so good there. Let's just hope that it does give us that out when we do punch. So here it comes right now. Again, hands off the keyboard. I'm letting the software do it for myself, and we'll see if we do get that punch out right now through 216. We'll be out of that name. Man, we made a lot of money back there, including that Microsoft trade that came out just recently. That was a good one to the downside. And then obviously the trade that we just talked about was Tesla. We did have another short, right? Wasn't it PayPal? It was PayPal, but the PayPal out seems to be the right one there, as we are still below where it is right now. So that was the best out for me there, considering where the stock is. But yeah, that's the market, and that's basically a wrap. I mean, it's almost finished, but tomorrow's going to be exciting.
CCL's still a sell imbalance of 1.3 million,
Tesla.
but it's flat out not moving. So it's my direction. It just doesn't want to seem to fall. And there was a question, someone in the chat, I answered this in the chat, but TLT, which is the 20-year treasury, it was a sell imbalance. It's just not there anymore. I just looked at it. It's now paired off, it looks like. So I don't really see that. It's not the first time that we've seen TLT have a bit of an imbalance, but that's paired off rather quickly as I guess the buyers came in to go grab that one up. So I might just have to get out of this CCL manually. At 355, you do get a lot of updates on the imbalances, so I'll try to hold on to CCL at least until that level. And if you're not tomorrow morning, or just tomorrow in general, if you don't at least have your eyeballs on 215 on Tesla, then I don't know what you're looking at, because that went from a strong stock this morning to just rejecting 225 over and over again, and then going exactly 10 bucks, bouncing off the most obvious level once it got there to the penny. If we see that break, 200 on Tesla could be incoming. If we do have a breakdown, that'll probably wait until we actually get the number from CPU, until Thursday probably. It'll probably take that to see 200. But if that print comes in hot, Tesla 200 is in play. If we sell off into the number 215, has got to be on our radars tomorrow morning. Doubtless, it'll be on our free watch list. That's another benefit, by the way, our free watch list. That's where you would have got those chips from. The entire group in play today. Of course, Micron still holding that strength. I had to get out of Micron. There was really nothing I could do about it. It just didn't want to follow through. There was that sell imbalance. Probably the right call, even though it's still exactly at my entry price. Looks like it's going to hold up that 53.50. But we have to be flat at the end of the day anyways. I had to cover this trade at some point.
Yeah, 53.50.
Is it 34?
Yeah, it's not 53.50. Is it? Yeah,
it's 34.50.
Is it 34.50? I don't know. We're talking about Russell Peters there.
I know that bit.
Fellow Bramptonite right there. All right, Brendo, from two Brampton guys to another. What's up, Brendan?
Oh, Brampton. Quickly, guys, a correction. First off, here's Vinco Ventures. When we showed the board earlier this morning, we mentioned Vinco Ventures coming up. Aftermarket, it has since updated to November 21st. So when we put that board together that you saw earlier, it was actually on a few sources suggesting it was today. But November 2-1, mark that down right there for Vinco Ventures. A few people asking about that. That is now what to expect for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Oh, Pepsi. You know what? Pepsi was on a couple scans today. Right there. So yeah, that could be something to look at tomorrow. Obviously, we talked about Procter & Gamble the last couple of days and how beat down that stock has been. Yep. Procter & Gamble is a mess right now. We'll see what happens with Pepsi. I feel like that one's probably a mess as well. But anything else? I don't know what Enzo is. I have a great friend named Enzo, so shout out to you, Enzo. But other than
the guitar
that,
player, right?
Yeah, the guitar
He's
guy.
He's unreal. So
yeah,
whatever. This guy played at a friend's wedding, and it was one of the best experiences. The guy is ridiculous. My daily chart is kind of slow loading here. Pepsi's managed to hold the summer lows at June, so it has this double bottom at 153 on a really bad print. I'm looking for that to be your support tomorrow. If things go really ugly, it seems like that's probably. It would take a lot for us to get down there, but that's a pretty good bounce zone for Pepsi. At least it has been. So that's the only thing I'm really watching in particular. Sort of let it happen. Let the numbers come as they may be, and then play off the levels. Because trying to predict how it's going to go. You're in an inflationary environment, they can pass the costs on, but the consumer's got to pick and choose it these days. And you can start to find some pressure when you talk about recession, even though I like some of these staples in the long run, and they can be safe places to hang on to. On a bad print, 153, that's my level on Pepsi, and it stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, you're welcome there, Flame Boy. This is what it's all about. At Sean Katina, I just closed my SQQ and Tesla and made a lot. All credit to you. But you're the one hitting the keys, so I give credit to you, Flame Boy. Good job on that one, man. Glad that you were joining me on some of those trades. I'm feeling like that's what I need to do, to be honest with you, is trade the market. Especially, but the stocks are going fine. It's just I do feel like there are market opportunities as well. And then you take away some of that single stock risk, but Yeah, good job on that one, Flame Boy, and for everybody out there as well. This is Pepsi. I know we just talked about it a little bit. It's actually not as bad as I thought. Nothing like Procter. It's only 3 minutes to go. Oh, Procter, NQ, NY there. Pepsi is one of those tricky names because it is an NQ name. Right there. It doesn't make any sense really that it is, but it is. This is Procter, just absolutely destroyed. I mean, what a difference there. You know, Pepsi kind of just hovering around its 50 period. Procter & Gamble now back to like some of these 2021 bottoms right there for PG. I did talk about buying that yesterday at 122. So if you did that, at least today you're up and in the money. So that's better than most stocks today for P&G. What's up, Ruchit Patel? Nice little job there today, 5,700. So we'll spin that for you, Mr. Patel, as that's a good one for sure. John from Barrie. What's up, Barrie? I like Barrie.
Barrie in the house.
Barrie in the house right now. That's my
we used
preference.
To have an office.
QQQ. Yeah, exactly. Qs and TQQ. Yeah, you're probably right looking at that. You know what, CDP, thank you. And we do appreciate a hell of a job. So everyone's saying on here, great trades, this and that, this and that. So I hope those likes are like at 5,000. All right, only a minute left right now as we get ready to rock and roll. We did get out of our Tesla. Check back on Apple here just to see where we are on the Apple trading on the 1 minute chart. Apple right back to where we were. We did get stopped out on that number. Holding stocks like that into that balance is not a great idea. Obviously, we'll learn our lesson from that and most likely never do that again, but probably we will. All right, only a minute left as we get ready to close out shop. Tomorrow, exciting day. Sleep well.
And I heard a cool thing that I think would be cool, because it's cool.
Yeah.
And that would be Tony. Someone just said he deserves a walk-in song. Like Tony should have his own music. I know we have the Tuesday with Tony graphic, but there's no music. You can make music for us if you want, to be sure. Like we have no issues with that.
Beat from Pratt, get that ready.
We can get the beat from Pratt can work, but just don't use anything that's copyrighted, because if we play something copyrighted, it's an issue with YouTube. But yeah, if you make something up, that's all good. I was trying to pull up HKD because it's above $40, but you know what? Who cares about that stock? Let's get Tony on the big screen as the beat comes in for the close. You know it. You love it.
Yeah, Tony's loving that beat. This is, Tony goes to the clubs and requests this. All right, 3, 2, and 1. It's proudly beat. That's it. Let's go. And that's a wrap on the market, man. I mean, not only do we have a crazy day, but now we have crazy beat. Yo, Brad, do we got to pay you for this beat? I mean, this is absolutely insane. If you say yes, we never play it again. Here we go. All right, we'll put on our glasses. We'll get ready to rock and roll here. Yeah. Run it back, man. This beat is hot fire right now. So
it never drops, but you know.
I would tell Pratt not to quit his day job, but I mean, that's a pretty hot beat right there.
Pratt's going to make us, we need an actual Trader TV theme song. He's got to make that.
Yeah, he does.
What are you
What the
playing
hell
now?
is this?
What are you doing, man?
This better not be going over. Yo, get that. Yeah, cut that. The only beat we're having is Prad's, period. Get it out of there, and let's go over to Brendan and see how we wound up today.
Could be better. We did dip back into the red here, guys, for all three U.S. markets. I was watching the Dow there right at the end to see if we could close positive. Not the case, though. Negative 0.03, 0.7 for the S&P. Yeah, 1.25. NASDAQ leads back to the downside after valiant effort to bounce today. 2.8%. Crude ends the day on the lows as well, guys.
Yeah, you're not going to see. There's the bear. The bear, like, I don't know what's up with the bear's looking kind of sad. The bear should be happy because the bear actually won today.
Bear's
but
looking a bit suspect.
What other trading show are you going to hear beats dropped at the end of the day? They ain't going to do. Well, first of all, there is no other real trading show.
Yeah, right.
I know you say we're the best trading show out there. I think we're just very different in that it is about the trades. It's what we do. You hear the trading floor behind us. Thank you guys so much for all the support. It's been a heck of a lot of fun. I like there was that nice talk that we had about trailing stops as you were setting it up, right? And I realized I actually want to set one up because I have it set up, but we have different markets. It's like I have it set up for one market and not another. And I just realized I can't always use my trailing stop. And there comes the beat again. Was that the wrap it up beat now?
Yeah, this is the PPI beat. This is the CPI beat. Yeah, exactly. This is like the Oscars. I like that. We should do that, man. When you hear the beat, you got to wrap it up. But the problem is I want the beat to keep playing. The only problem with this beat is there's no drop.
Ever.
Yeah, okay, no problem, Brad. Okay, here we go. This is a nice one. Brad wants 30 cents every time. That's fine.
No,
Why pay him that?
Why not a quarter?
He'll do it for
see,
Super
the only
Chicken.
one bouncing our heads right now are me and Neil. So I think we got to check out. Does Brendan is he from Brampton or what? Like, what is going on here? If you're from Brad's from Brampton, he made the beat. I mean, this is what we're all about here. Okay, it is like the Oscars, and we have to wrap it up. So I want to give a big thank you to Sharif today for throwing it down. I want to give a big shout out to Prad as well. More for the beat than for the trades. Thank you so much to Prad for that one.
Thanks
to Lucas. Thanks to Fahad right there. Oh, no free throws today, Fahad. I hope you're practicing those. And then a shout out to Greg Brankles, Neil, of course, Brendan, of course, and everybody involved with Trader TV Live. Tomorrow's going to be a great day.
One of those hoops.
What do you want, Brendo?
I was gonna say we should get one of those hoops, those like Nerf hoops.
Yeah, that's better than the
I know, we should. I know, but the garbage can is actually bigger. Like, you should be able to grab that. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us. It's a fun day always here at Trader TV Live. Make sure you join us early tomorrow, man. It's going to be another exciting one. 8:30, we're here, and so are you, I hope. And we will see you tomorrow early and often. Have a great evening. Thanks, guys. Ciao.